Hello, I am Gregory the Poor Typist, and welcome to another edition of Typewriter Club Live. The word of the day, or the typing prompt, is bulbous. Yeah, so this is a weird one, I know, but for some reason, the word bulbous has always been like one of my favorite words. Typically around, Thanksgiving, Christmas, I will declare I'm feeling bulbous, meaning I'm feeling full. So yeah, so hopefully you guys had fun with it. But yeah, anyway, as I let people in, let's have some announcements here. Just very briefly, first of all, Type Pals is and always will be free. So if you enjoy exchanging letters or postcards, feel free to join us at typepals.com. And I am very, very excited that this week I added Austin Typewriter Inc. to the lineup on Typo Radio. So I'm very excited about that. So yeah, now we have the two shows on there, and yeah, it's a great way to enjoy both podcasts. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy that. All right, let me let this person in. Brenda, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Yeah. So what's new with you?
Well, I have 4 new typewriters.
Oh,
One was free.
Oh, okay, excellent.
Do you remember me telling you about the guy that was saying he was throwing all his dad's typewriters in the garbage?
Yes.
Yeah, so I finally got one the other day. This is not the one. This is the one, is the first one we got at the store, which is this big.
Oh, an SG3?
Yeah, just
Okay.
like Joe had when I was at his type-in. This is the same machine that he was given that day. So I grabbed that for like, I think $44.
Oh, wow.
It was 20% off. And I said, well, then I have to buy it.
Yeah.
So we got that one. And the only thing I had to do was this thing was on backwards. So I just flipped it around and it works really good. So
wow.
That was good.
Yeah.
So that was good. I was happy. And then, let me see. I have to turn you this way. Over here. This, I could pick this one up.
Yeah.
This one, I left and it came back for it. It was still there. So
nice.
Another like $44, which I didn't think was bad. And everything, it works really nice. So, and then this one, these are my favorite. I think these are my I know nobody likes these, or I shouldn't say that, but these are my favorite. These are my
Oh,
favorite. I left it there and then I went back and I thought, why didn't I buy it? So the only thing wrong with it was, you know how when you type the ribbon lifter goes up and it got the little arms that hold the ribbon in place. One side wasn't, it kept flopping down. So there's like a wire in there that hooks to the bottom of that thing. I don't know what it's called. And I just had to stick the wire back through the bottom hole and now it works.
oh, okay.
So that's pretty good.
Excellent.
So now I need to, and then my 3 typewriter. Oh my God. This thing was terrible. It was filthy and it had mud dauber nests in it. It had mice trying to live in it. The space bar and the power space wasn't connected, so I had to connect. I found the linkages and I connect them. So
nice.
I've never, and it reminds me of a battery, like a 9-volt battery or a battery. Just, it's very nice. So I got it all cleaned up and I sent the guy a message and I said, it works now. I fixed it. So now he says he's going to go get me a manual one because those are going to be harder to fix. Like the electric was easy. And I said, it doesn't matter to me if I can fix it, it's fine. So yeah, those are my 4 new typewriters that I don't need.
And on the SG3, have you been having fun with the paper injector?
Oh yeah, I like to call that the casino arm. Yeah, that's really cool. It's really awesome. So, but yeah, really cool.
Yeah, the SG3 is on my wish list. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, when I come out your way, I'll bring it with me.
There you go.
You can meet me in Albuquerque.
There you go. Lunch at Joe's.
Yeah. So.
Excellent. Very cool.
So what's new with you?
Not too much. Just trying to survive in the heat. And it's warm already. I was out watering this morning, so all the plants don't die.
Yeah. I think we're supposed to have rain today. More rain.
Okay.
It's not good for the people in the city that flooded.
I know.
It's terrible. But.
Yeah. It I don't know. It shouldn't, I guess, but it kind of boggles my mind that people still die in floods and other natural disasters. It seems like we should have had the technology or the methods or whatever to prevent that, but I guess sometimes it can just happen so suddenly that
well, it's some places that flood, they flood all the time, and then other places that have never flooded are flooded. So how do you know?
Exactly.
You just don't know. It's just really scary.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, but it's very dry here, so
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's so good seeing you.
It's good seeing you too.
And thank you for sharing those typewriters. I'm a little bit jealous. Also, with the Royal Safari, I'll have to say, I love the look of those. But for me, it was like typing in a bowl. So.
Oh really? I don't know. I just like the way it feels. I don't know what it is. I like, this is just like the best. I think I like the looks of it too. Yeah. But I don't. But the keys don't bother me. But yeah, I can get it. It's not for everyone.
Yeah. But excellent scores, especially the free one.
Oh yeah, the free one. And I'm going to be getting another one hopefully tomorrow. A free one. We'll see what it is. I'm excited.
Yeah, you should be.
Yeah. So bring it on.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Roger, how are you doing?
Roger? I'm okay.
Oh, good.
Hang on. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hang on tight, because I got my headsets on the wrong way.
Oh.
I thought it would work in both ways, but it seems it only goes to the front of the mic, not to the back.
Okay.
So the buttons are on the back of my headset,
Yeah.
and I wanted them at the front. So
Okay.
okay, what's new? I've seen several typewriters,
Okay.
2 in a museum. It was a how you call it, expo of the 1960s,
Ah.
and there were 2 typewriters from the 60s. And then Friday I went to how you call it, not a yard sale, but in a fixed place.
A flea market or a swap
Yeah,
meet?
something like that. Uh, uh, Vintage store or something with old furniture and all. And they had one typewriter too, but also a plastic one from the 60s or 70s or 80s. So I didn't buy it. Probably wasn't expensive, but I've blown my budget already this month.
Yeah.
So actually, I've already blown next month's too. So
Oh my goodness.
Well, then you don't have a budget anymore. Do whatever you want.
exactly.
Oh, that's funny.
So that's about it. I got almost current with all my Type Pals letters,
Oh,
except
excellent.
well, they were current last week because I already sent another letter,
Oh,
but I'm waiting with the postcard exchange because the person I got is someone I'm already a pen pal with, Type Pal with.
ah.
So I sent one postcard this week, but I don't remember to who,
Oh,
because I had 3 Type Pals and I sent one postcard to one of them. So I'm waiting for an answer if he got my letter or postcards, and if he got a postcard, which one, so I can send one or the other. I got 5 different ones, so
okay.
it doesn't have the same one twice.
I know, huh?
And I was just looking at the how you call it directory, and I
Yes.
saw a familiar name. Now I'm going to check all my pen pal packages, see if the name's in it. In other words, I got someone to write to.
Oh, okay.
So,
Excellent.
but I still got 2 Type Pals on the wish list to write.
Excellent.
But
Excellent.
I also got a dozen more letters I need to answer.
Yeah.
So there's still work going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think those are good problems to have.
Yeah,
Excellent. I'm so glad you're enjoying it.
always.
That's good to hear. Good to hear.
Yeah.
All right. And thank you so much for being here, Roger.
Thank you again for hosting.
You're welcome. Robert, how are you doing? Uh-oh, are you frozen?
I'm frozen again. Or
Oh boy.
um,
It's because you're back home. When you were on vacation, you had a better connection, and now that you're back home. Oh boy. Yeah, you're very, very choppy.
wait, I have to go to the other room. Maybe it works.
Okay.
No, I'm still at vacation, but now the wait. Das kann doch wohl nicht wahr. Is it working now? No. Oh, scheiße, ich versuche zum Kotzen. Ich bin on mobile data. I don't know if it works or not.
Also, if you leave
Ja,
your
das kann doch
video
wohl nicht
off,
wahr sein.
it might help.
Wait.
It's still very, very choppy. Okay.
Is it now a bit better? No, wait.
It was.
Better now? Is it better now?
Yes, I can hear you
Okay.
clearly now.
So you know how I'm looking at, so I just will talk a bit. Yes, I'm still at vacations on the North Sea, and 1 week we have left. It's very fine here, and we're even happy than we had. It started raining a bit. So on the northern part of Germany, it's rainy, and on the south part of Germany, where I normally live, they tell us it's also very dry and warm and not so well. But okay, I'm not here for the weather report. I can't report many things about typewriters because if there ain't any typewriters here around on my holidays, maybe I will do some public writing. Maybe someone will come and ask for what I'm now doing there, and so I have 5 machines with me. That's one thing I can do. Just think, Brenda. Okay, Brenda.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
You have the German version of the SG3, I think, because when you put up the hood, then you will see a very solid part of a mechanic of frame. Because I have the newer version of the SG3, and this one was built in Mexico, and it is a bit less in quality. Just put up the hood, please. Yeah, you see the red pieces. This is cast iron
Yep.
frame, and the newer versions they were built in Mexico, like my one. They have an orange color more, and this is really the peak of perfection what you have there. I'm getting one two in 2 weeks. I've reserved it, but the one a platinum knob is missing, but I think I can fix it. I can get it. This is really a tank. It's really a great machine, and
you are it's very heavy
because mostly they're missing. They seem to break quite easy. This is really one of the best typewriters ever. I think I would say it's better from typing than the SG1.
You think?
So really great machine.
Yeah, I thought
you will have a lot of fun with it, and if you don't need it, it's a good boat anchor.
That's what the guy at the
just to say the comparison between is on the back side. Is there a little sign? Normally there's written Olympia made in Germany or made in Western Germany.
Yeah, there's some other signs also because it was from
the
Illinois University of Illinois.
Yeah. And there should I can't see it now. There should be written that it's made in Germany, is it?
Yes.
Made in Western Germany.
Yeah, Olympiawerke Wilhelmshaven. Yeah, Western Germany. Yeah. And many others, the newers, until the end of the SG3, they were often built in Mexico. Quite good typers, not, but they don't have the paper injector. That's injector too. That's it. You have really the best version of the SG1, SG3 there in your hands. So you're quite lucky.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm happy.
And really, yeah, you should be.
Oh yeah.
And the SG2, I think it wasn't built or was just kind of a prototype. Was never built in series, I think, as far as I know. So there's the SG1 and the SG3. Really great machine. Yeah. Nothing more to report from my side. Every day I'm writing one side of my holiday diary here, so I have some and enjoying my time here and feeling good and happy to be with you again here. And Daniel is lifting his hand.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Robert.
Yeah, thanks, Robert. I just wanted to comment, and I went to look at my SG3 that's on a table there.
Yeah.
On a table, I don't know if I can show it there. Thanks, but it's there. Let me just point it to it. There. And the label at the back says it's in German, but then it says made in Canada. And so it's not really made in Canada. I think it was assembled in Canada to avoid some of the import duties. So it is like described. It is like the one on the screen right now. It has the red
frame,
and everything like that. It looks just like Brenda's.
Mhm.
except I don't have the paper injector. It's
Yeah.
it's a simpler model, and it's from 1960. Mine is from 1968, I think. Anyway, and so yeah, it still has all the components made in Germany, but just assembled in Canada, and so it's a very potent typewriter. Although I do prefer my SG1. I think
Yes.
my SG1 is more snappy than the
Mhm.
SG.
That's true what you say. The feeling of the SG3 is a bit more like a kind of a rubber something, but it's smooth. It doesn't hurt your fingers so hard like as a snappy machine. I think it's a healthier typer for longer sessions because it feels a bit softer when you write on it. And when you have a snappy typewriter, or for example, when I'm writing with a torpedo or something, it really clack, 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 and yeah, it's harder for the fingers. I think it's a very ergonomic typewriter, the SG3. And does your SG3 has a double space on the
It does not.
top?
Does not.
Okay.
No.
These
Mine
are, I think
does.
these are the SG1 has a double space, and the
Yeah.
and Brenda's SG3 might have double space too. Brenda?
Yes, it does. Yes, sir, it does.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's the version. That's the best version, I think. The German build with a double spacing with a paper injector, and you can even have a roller where you can set how much paper is injected by the paper
Oh.
injector.
Yeah.
Yes, you
Yeah.
can. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's really an absolute great machine.
I want one
Okay.
even more now.
So maybe when I'm back home in Germany, and I said someone gave one away, and I reserved it, and I hope I can have it in 2 or 3 weeks. Then I will have. It should be the same like you have with the green keys and the green platen knob. I think it might be also same year of build or something like that. In the late 60s, and so then we can compare. But I think really it might be something like yours. And as I said, the SG3, the later one, they piece by piece they made a downgrade, maybe even from Canada, manufactured with a cast frame, and then later in Mexico it was only a kind of a tin frame, which is also sturdy. It's not bad. It writes at all. It's okay. But everything I think it was made. They started to reduce costs. And though they haven't the paper injector and haven't the double spacing, maybe I think it was 76 or 78 or something like this in the year of build. So really difference between SG3 to SG3. It's a bad word for me. Okay.
Excellent. Well, thank you for sharing that, and thank you also for sharing, Daniel.
So.
All right. So I
Gregory, nothing more from my side to report. I will just sit back, enjoy a bit. I had a running contest for 10 kilometers. I'm just a bit relaxing, and so I'm well, enjoy the rest of you guys.
all right. Thank you so much, Robert.
Yeah. Okay. So have a good time. I'm going back to you. Bye.
Okay. All right. I want to jump to Russ Watson is joining us from Australia, and it's like 2 a.m. there. So I figured we better jump ahead. Russ, are you available to speak? Russ? No? Okay, maybe not. All right. So, or maybe we'll try coming back to Russ later. But Daniel, how are you?
Oh, I'm great. Oh, Russ just said it. He's fine, but can't chat right now. So he
Okay.
just posted that in the message board
Thank you. Thank you.
in the chat.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Excellent.
I'm actually typing a letter to a type pal, and this is going to be a letter. Well, there's Russ also saying something in the chat that it's time for him to go to bed. So,
Yeah.
well, I totally understand. 2 a.m. That's a big difference in time. Yeah. So yeah, I'm typing to one of the new members in TypePal, and we'll see. And I received a wonderful letter from Carole in Switzerland, and she really. I'm going to show that on the screen, and if you want to maximize it, because it's really worth it. Oh, wait a
There's
minute.
no address, right?
I'll blank the addresses.
Okay. Excellent.
I'll blank the addresses, and with post-it notes. It's super
They're so
fast.
handy.
Okay, so I blanked the addresses, but this is the letter that, okay, there's a bit of contrast, but you can see that it's a montage, and this is to represent an IBM Selectric type ball, and she made this. It's a Japanese. It's called kirigami, and so she typed it, and of course I have 2 pages of text. But this is wonderful. This was folded and put in a box so that this wouldn't crush. So it was Bonjour Carole, si tu es là, and we write in French.
Oh,
That's amazing. That's amazing. Wow.
It's so good. I just wanted to show it to everyone. Her work. It's quite amazing.
That is.
And so yeah. I was quite pleased with that, to receive, like, happy, like you get that anytime I receive something. It's like, oh yeah, I've got the mail. And just to show you, like, oh yeah, I kept the box, but Switzerland really means business with their stamps. This is the size of a
wow.
Of course, you could always cut it here. There's little dotted lines you could cut in, but this this is a big stamp.
Yeah.
And I love it that it's a cow, and given my work, my line of work in my profession, and that I came from a farm, that I kind of like cows and farm animals in general, and all types of animals actually. But it's good to have that. So that's my that's the highlight of receiving this, which I got on Friday. So like Friday night, I run to. We have a communal postal boxes. It's not delivered at our house anymore. So you walk down the street and you go to the and you discover this, and you go like, wow, what's in the box? You look forward to opening it. So made my day, really. Thank you very much. And hey, I got an update. Yeah, I got an update to my typewriter that I found from Vic Wiltshire, which was a journalist and a communications officer, I should say, or a press secretary in the government. I wrote to his daughter. Last week, I talked about the fact that I had found this locally, like really close to my house, somebody selling a typewriter secondhand, and that it belonged to, a famous journalist. And it's a 1945 Clipper, Smith Corona Clipper. And I started on a bit of research online as to who was Vic. I didn't know him. And I found out contacts for his daughter. And I wrote to her and saying, I have your dad's typewriter, I think. could you, and I sent her photos and I said, could you, validate that it's your dad's typewriter? And she said she thinks it is. And she was very, very happy that I described to her that I was going to restore the typewriter. I was going to clean it. I was going to put a new platen on it, new rollers and new feet, and generally put it back to working condition because it hadn't typed for some time. Yeah, she was so happy about it. It was a great response. I was very, very pleased with that. And so it just turned out well. And she sent me a photo of her dad. And maybe I can share my screen. And then if do I have the permission to share the screen? Okay, let me try that. Share screen. And here we go, share. So here's Mr. Wilkshire typing at the machine there in 1958 or about. She thinks this photo was taken when he was 25. And I don't know if anybody online, I don't know, Ted, if you have ever seen that. There's a bottle next to him, and it's like 217, or it's a kind of mixture or a solvent, or I don't know what it is, but there's a bottle next to a typewriter. I'm just saying, if there's a bottle next to a typewriter while he's writing, is it some kind of cleaning fluid, or is it to clean the types, or it wasn't some whiteout? But I've never seen that or heard about that 217. It does, though. The shape of the bottle, which is square, kind of reminds me of bottles that my dad, who was a electronics technician, had for cleaning TVs and radios.
Yeah, it could be contact cleaner. I kind of doubt that it's correction fluid, because I don't think whiteout was invented until 67.
Okay.
Because that was Michael Nesmith's mom that invented whiteout. So
that's good info. Thank you for sharing that.
But yeah, I would imagine contact cleaner would make sense if it's, electronics kind of cleaning fluid, and you were using it to clean the typewriter. That's a cleaning fluid.
It's a guess, but I did try to search that online, and I couldn't find anything. So maybe one day I'll run into somebody else, a ham radio site that mentions that, because that's the kind of place I would most likely find that kind of information. Of course, TV repairs, but
you might ask Joe if he comes on. Maybe he knows.
Yes, exactly.
He's an old TV tech.
Yes, but that would be in 58, and Joe was born in 57. So, there's you need.
He got, that was his earlier job, was TV repair. After the Navy. So.
No, you're right. You're
it's
right.
Entirely possible it may still have been around back in the 70s. So.
You're right. So I'll stop sharing right now. And that's the news for the week. That's all the news that's fit to say.
Can I ask you a question about that typewriter? Are you planning on, did the girl want it back? Was she interested in having that typewriter since it was her dad's, or? Right. So Brenda, that's why I wrote to her. I wrote to her with the mindset that I was telling her I had her dad's typewriter, and if she was interested in it, I would gladly send it to her. Yeah. I came forward with that in mind. I didn't write it in so many words like that. But if she had asked me to, I'd love to have my dad's typewriter back, I would have totally said, yes, you can have it. But the opposite was that she was very happy for me to restore it and bring it back to life, because it hasn't been used since maybe 1996. So it has been 25 years or more without being used, and so
still, it's not stuck. I started typing and it was very free. But yeah, so that I did. I would have been totally fine with a kind of request like that, like to say, well, I would love to have it. And I would have gladly, sent it to her. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. That's like I said, it's all for me.
All right.
you.
So I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. We had a power outage. so I disappeared, but you guys are still going. You're still going strong. I appreciate it. And the stream is still on YouTube, so that's great. But I'm trying to get back in on my computer. I'm currently on the iPhone app, which is horrendous. So I don't even want to try and manage a meeting using the app. So let's see. I'm trying to remember who we left off with. Well, let's just go to the next one on my screen here. Neil McMichael, how are you doing?
Really well.
Excellent, excellent.
As always, my connection's a little shaky at times, but that was interesting, Daniel, listening to your approach with that machine. It's pretty obvious. I was thinking if I was the daughter, having received your letter, and I had any interest at all in that, my father's typewriter, I would have said exactly something along the lines of, boy, that sure would be nice to have in our family or something. So you left the door wide open for her. And the fact that I think what a wonderful response that she's comfortable with you restoring it. And it's probably very neat for her to have it, know that it's in good hands, basically. So.
Totally. Listen, I didn't know that we lost Gregory, and I think I'm stuck in being the only person that's zoomed at. Like we have like maximum view for me, or
that's okay.
I'm logging in right now, so I should be able to resolve that.
It's all right. So full screen, I guess. But if you don't mind seeing my face.
So anyway, yeah, that's it was interesting. At the beginning of the meeting, everybody was talking about the Olympias, and just so happens that about 2 weeks ago, I acquired my first SG1, and boy, I have to tell you, I don't know how to describe it other than say it's a real tank of a machine. It was one of those situations. I actually bought it on Goodwill Shopping. Now I know, roll your eyes and groan. I did the same thing, but I thought, I'm going to give it a shot. And I spoke with the sellers actually before they shipped it, and explained to them how easy it is to remove the carriage, and it'd be great if they could wrap that separately. And well, they said okay, and and the box arrived. They did nothing more basically than wrap it in bubble wrap and set it inside a cardboard box. But I couldn't believe it. Nothing, no damage. That's perfect. You're almost asking for the carriage knobs to be broken or smashed or something, but nothing. So I picked the machine up, put it on my typewriter desk, and I thought I'll take it for a ride. So I started typing a little bit, types beautifully. It wasn't until yesterday that I actually took a few minutes to even give it a cursory cleaning. But oh my gosh, I'm so happy with it. It's a 1961. It has the paper injector and the double spacing, of course. And it is one heck of a machine. I won't be moving it very often, but it's the perfect machine to have on the typewriter desk. And I've already, I think, fired off about 8 letters with it. It's just, it's pretty amazing. So then this is actually a month or so ago, I picked up this machine here. This was locally, actually. It's where's my camera?
Ah, it's curvy.
Yeah, it's really it's a heavy machine. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I think,
It has a Hermes 3K kind of vibe to it.
yeah, I think it's a 1958, if I recall. It's got a couple of nice, oh Lord.
What model is that?
This is the Universal.
Oh, okay. Our
It's a
friend
pretty,
David Peterson was asking if it's a champ.
it's a pretty sporty looking little machine.
Yeah.
Types really well, but oh my gosh, I don't know what it has in it for guts. It must be a brick or lead in there. It's really, really heavy. So
Very cool.
yes. So we got those two, and I also picked up locally again a SM9. So that one needs a little bit of not work. It just it's somewhere along the line. The space bar bracket got a little cattywampus, so it needs to be straightened out, because when you close the lid on it, it is up against the space bar, but it's nothing major, I don't think. But. So what else? I mean, that's a lot right there, but the SG1 is that's just quite an amazing. And you guys were talking earlier about the frame of the thing. Oh my goodness, it's like, I guess it's made out of cast iron. I don't know, but it's definitely built to last. Quite a piece of typewriter. So
Yeah. Excellent.
that's about it from Key West.
All right. Very good. Thank you so much for sharing, and it's good seeing you.
Yeah, same here, always.
Ted, how are you doing? I caught him off guard.
I'm doing well.
Excellent, excellent. Now, what are you? It looks like that's a computer screen there.
It is a computer screen. I was just
Okay.
working on the facet page again.
Oh, okay.
Making a few
Okay.
more changes because I made an assumption about date codes for the later ones.
Oh.
And, I think it's well justified. And so I went ahead and did it.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, you do have the power.
Do it kind of guy.
Yeah. Excellent. What have you been typing lately?
I've been typing letters. I just
Lots
got
of
one. Well, I got one from Neil not too long
Excellent.
ago, and replied to him, and sent another one to Joe. And let's see, there were a couple others, but got a nice CD
Ah,
from Neil. Getting
excellent.
people to send me music, and so I can
Yeah.
enjoy
very
some
cool.
new sounds. And,
Yeah.
let's see.
What typewriters have been on your desk?
I have had the Hermes Rocket, which is over here in the background. That's my wife's Hermes Rocket, actually.
Ah,
It's a 1964 edition. I had earlier in the week, I had my Monster Scouts Aristocrat, obviously.
yeah.
And I've had an Underwood Universal, so deluxe.
Nice.
I have had a couple of my brothers, and I've had a Sprite, which you saw last time I had on. So
Yes, yes.
the Royal Sprite.
Excellent.
That's about it.
Okay.
I've been kind of sticking to the ultra portables.
Yeah. And have you been sticking to the machines at work, or have you been working on any machines?
I have been sticking to the ones that work.
Yeah.
Actually, I worked on one machine that had it was kind of sticky toward the end of the carriage.
Ah,
So I had to find out what was blocking it.
yeah. You got that working?
Yep, that's
Excellent.
about it. Nothing real exciting.
Excellent. Well, it's so good to see you, Ted.
It's good to see you too.
All right. Brian, how are you doing?
I'm just peachy.
That's good.
Nothing too much going on. I have both dogs here today. I got my folks' dog and my dog.
Nice.
On dog sitting duty. Go on. Come here.
Oh,
So this takes up most of my time.
dogs.
Yeah.
There's a nice contrast between them.
Yeah. They're kind of gruesome twosome.
Yeah.
So there's that. I haven't been doing a whole lot of typing this week, but I've had my Facet TP1 out and working on that. I'm actually waiting for I finally broke down and ordered a external CD burner, so
yeah.
I can send stuff to people that want music. So that's gonna be here tomorrow. So
Okay.
until then.
Yeah, you had that one that didn't work, right?
Yeah, well, I had the external CD burner. External is external to other things in a rack. That's the dedicated audio CD burner is what I have.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't work. I'm getting just a standard, USB drive.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They'll be able to do all sorts of stuff with that.
Yeah.
I'd
Similar to
stay in
deal
the
with. Yeah.
electronics area, but I don't know when I'm going to get that thing working. So
Yeah.
It's more practical.
yeah, it
Yeah.
is. More stuff with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. And it's very good to see you, Brian.
Good to see you too.
Excellent. David Peterson, we haven't seen you in a long time.
Took me just a second, Greg. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I think David was one of I don't think he was in the very first episode of Typewriter Club Live, but he was in maybe the second or third. So
I was just wondering about him, where he's been.
yeah, there he is.
Now we
I
know.
opened a bookstore, so here we are. So I just had some customers coming in. Yeah. So
Oh, you opened a bookstore?
yeah, after working for the government and dealing with COVID for 2 years, I said, I'm going to open a bookstore. So, yep, about 5 weeks ago. So it's been pretty cool.
Can I buy things online from you?
You can buy whatever you want, Greg, of course. Here.
Because I want to support you, man.
Yeah. I think
is
that's
so
the
awesome.
Instagram. It's either that or this. Hold on. So I've got my typewriters up in a display case. So that's been kind of neat. Some people have been, asking if they're for sale, and I'm like, they will be, maybe. Hard to choose which ones to get rid of,
I know, right?
So yeah, and then Richard's got margin releases deadlines tomorrow if anybody's doing that. So I had to ask for an extension.
Oh,
Because I have 11 pages to type, and every time I get to the last, I'm like on page 4. It's like the last paragraph I keep messing up. So it's like I need to take a break. So,
yeah.
but I've been using my 63 Hermes Kirby. Yeah. So
Nice.
just
nice.
checking in, seeing what you guys are doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we've grown more. We have a podcast now. We have Typo Radio and all kinds of interesting things going on. Yeah, we've come a long way since the days when we'd have like 4 or 5 people on and, just a handful of people watching. And yeah.
It was like mass chaos when you guys first started.
Yeah.
There was really no plan, but that was all right too, And
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention to the typewriter market, but good Lord, when I do check in, from when when we started collecting versus now,
Yeah.
you can't find anything, at all. And I'm in Rockford, Illinois, so I'm not too far from Milwaukee and the birthplace of the typewriter. So
Yeah. Very cool. Now, do you have a typewriter set up for the customers to use, or those are kind of hands off?
No. That's a good idea, maybe, but
Maybe just get a knock around one that You wouldn't mind?
Yeah, maybe a SM9 or SM7.
Yeah,
You can beat the heck out of those pretty good.
there you go.
Every one of those that I found has been, even if it's not in the best condition, they work. They just, I mean, most typewriters, but for some reason the SM and Olympia too is another one, you know, that they make just really sturdy stuff.
Yeah.
That Underwood that Neil has, for some reason I thought the name was a Champ, but that is an amazing typewriter. That thing is buttery goodness. So nice find there.
Yeah.
I got one from a second generation typewriter repairman out here, and man, that thing, you just fly on it. So
Excellent, excellent. Wow. Well, you have exciting stuff going on. That is very,
Yeah.
very cool. Now, how long have you been open?
this is week 5. So
Oh,
I got
wow.
the lease. Yeah, I built all this stuff up. It's, if you look online, there's pictures and everything, kind of the process, but like, yeah, I started in planning in October, and then we moved here in March. It's been great. You know, it's just used books, and I clean them, sort them, price them lower than Jeff Bezos, and hopefully, you know, it's been pretty good. So
Yeah, excellent. Wow, I'm so excited for you, David.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
I just kind of wanted to see what's going on in the world of typewriters today.
I know, right? Well, there's a lot more people doing it now, that's for sure. And that of course is what has driven up the prices. So yeah. Yeah, very cool. Do you have anything, any other projects going on? I know you're interested in filmmaking. And
Yeah, so I've been doing kind of moving alongside of the typewriter stuff. I've been doing some bookbinding. So I went out and I got myself. Oh. There you go. This copy press.
Oh,
It's been, just got some feet and stuff on it right now. That's been a lot of fun, learning how to repair, bind, sew. So that's kind of my next thing that I'm hoping people don't ruin.
I know, right?
But I picked up this copy press is, I don't know what year it's from, but it's a game changer. So we're hoping to do just small run chapbooks from local poets and authors and stuff like that. Wow. And then with some like litho stuff, you know, just, you know, the old school way.
Yeah.
So, kind of just going down the press rabbit hole.
Yeah.
You know, I'd love to do like stuff like movable type, you know, eventually. But I've looked at some printing press stuff. I'm just amazed at the old machinery and stuff that they, you know, from the Tudors on, right? So
yeah,
pretty interesting.
Yeah. You should talk to our member Mike Derling. He's very much into the presses and even like mimeograph and all that fun stuff. So yeah, I think he has and yeah, he does have a letterpress he uses. I think it's a small one. I'm trying to remember which member has the full size. What's her name? Lynn Johansson. She has a full size letterpress. So yeah. So there's people you can talk to in our community here. Definitely.
Yeah, I've made a couple things. You know, some books and stuff.
Cool.
So, yeah. Found some marbled paper. You know, some buckram.
Yeah.
And some nice end papers and everything. So
wow.
if you guys are into typewriters, I can guarantee you will be into bookbinding, bookmaking, kind of the learning that kind of craft. And yeah, I recommend taking a look at it because it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot easier to repair these things than typewriters too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right. Well, it is so good to see you again, David.
Good to see you guys too.
Yeah. All right. And I'll definitely be checking out Maze. Is it Maze Bookstore or Maze Bookshop?
Is it bad that I don't know? Let me look. I can't remember what it is. It's one of those two. So
they're interchangeable. So
yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can it be just Maze Books?
You know,
In
it
Rockford,
can't. I don't
Illinois?
think. Maybe. Yeah, it is in Rockford. Yes.
Then it's I searched it on Google. It says Maze Books.
Okay, let's
Okay.
see. Oh, the Instagram link.
No, just the entire name.
Like the Google listing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so the Instagram is Maze Bookstore, and that's kind of what you guys want to check out.
Okay.
So that's what I couldn't remember what the.
Yeah. It's okay, David. It's okay. We're a very forgiving bunch here, so
Except for Ted.
oh.
Ted Monk is a legend, by the way.
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah. I'm thrilled every time he comes on here.
Mhm.
Excellent.
I'm gonna go.
I always like
go
seeing
back
like the
and listen
antique
to this.
typewriter groups, and they're always like, "What's Ted? There's not this very specific, just always getting harassed."
Yeah.
I'm sorry it's not included in the 10,000 manuals that I have up there. Get around to it.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, again, thank you so much for being here, David, and I will definitely be checking out Maze Bookstore. Yes. Excellent. All right. Christoph, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm fine, and you?
Good, good.
I had a long road weekend for nothing. No interesting typewriters. Only
Oh,
one I pick up today. I will show you after. Yesterday I was to an antique shop, but it was closed because the owner was in holiday. But I will make you some photo about the store because it's absolutely insane how the mess is this store. It was closed. I will go next time, next weekend or in 2 weeks, but it's absolutely insane. And I hope he will have some cool typewriters. So I will see you next time.
oh, okay.
So today I went to flea markets. I found anything interesting. Electric Smith Corner, Olivetti Lexi something, Lexicon 80. But I didn't know anything about this one, but it was not a beautiful machine. And when I came back home, I remembered there was an antique shop next in the next city from my home, and I remembered the owner talked about a white box. He said, I have a white box with a typewriter, yes, but I don't know where it is. Let me clean up the shop and I will find you the box. And find it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
On that. There we go.
The box. Very, very beautiful. Some paint. I don't know why I have some white paint. Perhaps correctible paint. I don't know, but the margin works perfectly. And on my other Hermes here, the margin doesn't work. The margin system is broken, but in this one it works. And they are the same typewriters, but they are not the same boxes. This is my green, my older. I have the brush, and on the new, I don't have the brush. I thought it was lost or forgotten, but I think the Typewriter was sold without the brush. And on my green, it's a key system.
Mhm.
And on the white, it's a button.
Huh.
A button.
Oh,
But I have some ribbon. I will change the ribbon, clean the paint, remove the yellow color if I can. I have a little bit, I think, cigarettes, but it works perfectly. Very good condition. And that's all. And I put my bookshelf here, and now I have to buy another bookshelf because I didn't have place for my books now.
wow. Oh,
Yeah, she wants to play.
yeah.
And next time at 15 August, I will sell some typewriters because I don't need it on there. This is my this is, this is my trash room,
Oh,
and I'm my electric Corona. No, it's a skeleton, and I will sell a few of these. And now I have place for four new typewriter here. I hope great. And next week I will see for Olivetti Valentine, red Valentine.
okay.
And this is very, very expensive, but I found one very cheap, and I will pick up this Valentine near Paris. I have a little bit road to pick up, but on the Valentine will be not for me. It's a gift for a friend, because he asked me to find very, very colored and a bright color typewriters. I say, yeah, very bright color. I got some orange, yellow, and the Valentine is all red.
Yeah.
It will be perfect for him.
Excellent. Your collection is really coming along, and it seems like you don't have difficulties finding good typewriters over there.
Today at flea markets, I saw 4 typewriters.
Wow.
The electric Corona, the Olivetti Lexington, and 2 other, but Remington, if I remember, Monarch, but on Underwood, but recent Underwood, but no, I didn't want to purchase not very beautiful.
Okay.
One day I would love to find an Oliver, but in France, very, very, very difficult.
Yeah. I think in person, I've only seen one. It was in an antique mall, and I, just based on what I've heard as far as, basically the maintenance of them or repairing them, I wasn't interested. Although I love the look of them, though. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, a friend saw Oliver Free in a bookstore in north of France. He sent me a picture, very, very beautiful Oliver Free. But here Oliver are very, very, very expensive.
Yeah.
And very rare. Very rare. Yeah. But I will check.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, you don't know.
Excellent. All right.
Okay, so
All
I am
right.
in
so
France
for
too.
today, I will change the ribbon of the Hermes and clean
Very
a little
good.
bit.
All right. Well, it's so good to see you, Christoph.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye. Indro, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm in France too.
Ah, are you down the street from Christoph?
Yeah, I'm not very far away. It's just well, it's I think a 4 or 5 hour drive.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Let me see if I can change. Where's my camera? There we are. Ah,
You're in the jungle.
Wow.
Yeah, it's look like
I'm in
so
the
for
Cevennes.
Seven. Yeah. Okay,
Oui, Le Vigan.
okay. Great place.
Oui.
Excellent.
De Montpellier.
Did you take any typewriters with you, Indro?
Yes, I did.
Oh, of course, of course.
Let me see. Hold on 1 sec. Because I didn't turn on my camera that much because there's not much internet here. But let me see. Because I bought some paper. Here it is. Da-da-da-da-da.
There we
Of
go.
course, I brought my Hermes
Ah,
3000
yes,
and I bought this paper.
nice.
And this is the a little drawing of the city where I am, the Vigan.
Oh, cool.
So that is the church, and that is a little fountain. And
Nice.
it's just eight pieces. It puis de papier à lettres imprimées.
Wow.
So yeah, so yeah, it's so beautiful up here.
It looks like it.
And my bikes,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
it's very, very hot. So
Yeah.
that's my daughter's place. That's a hammock. That is my other daughter's place. That's another hammock. That is my kitchen, refrigerator. Here's my dog. Pepsi.
Oh.
Hello. So
Does your dog speak French?
yeah, and that's oui. C'est pas le français, Pepsi? Oui. So yeah.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
So yeah, it's such a beautiful. I come here now for 20 years.
Oh, okay.
So there's a little house you can rent if you want to, but it's just a small house. I don't think I can zoom. No, I cannot. Oh,
Oh, okay.
it goes away. No, I can't. There's some other small houses, like over there is a little wooden house, and there's some caravans down there, and yeah. But yeah, it's just it has I think only 40 places, so it's not very big.
Okay. That's
Oh,
very
yeah.
nice, though. Very
I
nice.
was there. I was here last year. So yeah.
Excellent.
And I brought. I'm reading the book of what is it? Dead Keys.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yep. So I
Excellent.
brought that one. So I finally started reading it. I read all the other ones, but this one I still didn't read. So I'm reading
Okay.
it now.
Nice.
While you're talking with Endro, I should mention one more machine that I got that slipped my mind. But this is interesting how TypePals connects people. So if you remember, I think it was maybe 4 weeks ago, Endro, perhaps.
Yeah. Yeah.
Endro was showing a Hermes that he had picked up locally and asked anybody if they were interested. Well, long story short, if you go back and look at that video, you'll see him in the Netherlands holding that typewriter up and showing us. And
Yeah.
I can hold a typewriter up now and show you it arrived all the way from
Oh.
the Netherlands to Key West.
Wow. That is awesome.
Thank you, Endro, for packing it so well.
Oh,
Yeah.
Everything arrived beautifully, and it's a wonderful little machine to add to my. This is my third Hermes, so welcome to the family.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really nice.
And only
So,
I think what it took, maybe total, I don't even think it was 3 weeks to get here, which I was surprised by.
Very nice.
no, less. I think maybe 10 days or something.
Yeah, it wasn't. I was literally shocked when I saw the package there, because I had just thought it was going to take, I don't know, I figured a month or so, but
Oh,
so
that's
it's
awesome.
pretty
no.
cool.
It was I was a bit afraid because it was I packed it so well, and it was sent like a package of 10, maximum 10 kilograms, and it was 10.5.
Oh, you rule breaker, you.
Half a kilo. I thought like, oh shit. Oh, but it turned out fine. No, it's a nice machine. So if you clean it, just a little cleaning, and then it works perfect. So and I just sold it for the same price as what I paid for it. So I didn't make any money of it. And that was not the point. The point was to get machines that are hard to find in the US, but easier to find over here, to get them over to the US.
Wow.
That was the idea.
And
Yeah.
it worked. It's much appreciated.
Yeah, if anybody needs a machine or is looking for a machine a long time, I know like Eric is looking for like a Hermes, and you know they're way too expensive for him in the US. So I can do a search for him, and then if I find one, usually they're not too bad. So I can buy one, and you know I can ship it, and I know how to pack the machine, so no worries.
Wow.
I might
Just let me
take you
know.
up on that offer
You should,
Yeah.
Eric.
eventually.
Yeah. Oh, there is Eric. Yeah, I know he's
Yeah.
looking for one. So
Yeah.
yeah. So
Very-
yeah, I don't know. This one I bought for 100 euros, which is right now $100, and packing and sending it was I think about $75, and then you know I had to pick it up, so some gas and things like that. You know, it was like 225 euros, dollars. So that's a good price.
Yeah. Yep, it sure beats 500.
I bought
Yeah.
all my Hermes, the three Hermes, for 50. 50
Yeah,
each.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
It all depends where you are. Definitely.
Well, the
Yeah.
idea that you could have it packed by someone who appreciates how a typewriter needs to be packed that's great value in and of itself. So
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Definitely. Definitely. Wow.
Yeah, it was a nice big box.
in the process, this old man learned how to wire. Oh, it was trial and error, but I've never transferred. I don't do the techie stuff like wiring money and all this business. So it took me a while, but I finally figured out. That was kind of as exciting as the typewriter, figuring out how to do that. But I was finally successful. I think Endro was probably wondering, what's with this guy? He doesn't know how to wire money, but I've never done it before. So I'm from a generation where we're still a little leery of that kind of stuff too. So, wow. But it was, I did it through PayPal in the end, and they have it's not directly from PayPal. Can't even explain it, but somehow I did it and it worked out. So
Yeah, it worked out fine.
Excellent.
yeah.
That is very cool. I love that we make these connections through Typewriter Club Live and Type Pals and even just the typewriter community as a whole. So that's pretty awesome. The Facebook groups and all that. So
Yeah, that's it. I'm not on Facebook. Sometimes I think like I'm gonna rejoin Facebook just for those
typewriter Facebook groups, but I think I quit now more than 3 years ago. I quit all my social media, so I don't do any social media anymore, and that made my life so much better. But that's another discussion. So, but but anyway, I still like on Sundays here in France. There's all these flea markets, but today I went to one. I didn't see any typewriters. I bought this funny. I can show you that one. Hold on one sec. What I bought was this. A walkie-talkie.
Oh.
So a friend of mine who is on the other side of the campsite has the other one. So that's really fun. So it looks like it gives you a bit that stranger things feeling.
Yeah.
So that's really fun. I bought it for €5. So
nice.
Just putting some new batteries in it and it worked.
Yeah.
So it's good fun. But I didn't see any typewriters.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, and Eric, I got your letter just on the day before I left. So I took it with me and I'll answer your letter while I'm here in France.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, you're gonna get a letter from France.
And speaking of letters, I'm responding to your letter right now, Neil. So you'll be able to hopefully get that within about a week or so.
Excellent.
All right. So I finished my beer and I'm going to take a swim before the sun goes down.
Yeah, excellent. Well, enjoy your vacation, Indro.
I will join next week again because I'll be here another 2 weeks, I think.
Wow, you like those long vacations.
Yeah, but it's usually the only holiday I have on the whole year. So
okay.
Yep. So yeah, I'll join in next week and maybe later today if you're still online. I'll see.
Okay. Yeah, we go till
right.
1, so
All right. Cheers.
All
Bye.
right. Thank you, Indro.
Bye.
Yeah, Ted, what's up with the second camera?
Oh, I thought I'd check to see if the Zoom app on this laptop worked. And, it does.
Yeah.
Since we're getting into CB radio here, walkie-talkies.
Nice.
My 40 channel.
Yeah.
Realistic.
That's hardcore.
Now, is that a two-way or is it one-way?
Two-way. It's a walkie-talkie.
Oh, okay. Walkie-talkie. Okay.
Yeah, 40 channel CB radio.
Okay, got it. I was thinking because don't you also have a police scanner?
Yes, I have a couple, 3, 4 police scanners.
Okay.
And I think I have 3 walkie-talkies and a bunch of GPRS walkie-talkies. And whenever I see them at thrift stores, I'm like, oh, walkie-talkies. I gotta have that.
But the question is, how do you communicate? What device do you choose to communicate?
Well, it depends. I mean, if you're camping, these things are great.
Yeah, definitely.
But then, when you don't have cell reception, for the most part, everybody has cell reception. So
exactly.
It's kind of a niche thing, but someday when everything falls apart,
you'll be prepared.
I'll be prepared.
Now it's been decades. Like I was probably a teenager or even younger the last time I used a walkie-talkie. What is the range on those?
It depends on atmospheric conditions, but you can get many miles out of it. But
wow.
Yeah, you can travel. You can talk to people in other cities.
Yeah.
Depending on the amount of power you got. This is a 5-watt thing, so it's it'll go across half a pretty flat state.
Yeah. And can you hook those up to an external antenna?
Yeah, I have one. It's a little kit that you're supposed to keep in your car.
Okay.
So it's got like the roof antenna that you stick on the roof magnetically, and that'll plug into it, and it's got a car charger and this huge battery pack thing that is interchangeable. And
wow.
Yeah, it's a full-on emergency kit.
Yeah. And you picked that up at a thrift store?
Yeah, for $5.
Wow. That's
Nobody
great.
wants this stuff.
Yeah.
Me,
Yep.
I
That
guess.
was awesome. All right. Well, I was just very curious about your second camera there. So
Yeah, I decided that, I guess it does work. So
yeah, excellent.
backup. See, I have backups for my backups.
Yeah. Very cool.
All right, so let's leave this one.
All
So
right,
it
let's see.
works.
Very cool. Well,
Okay.
thank you for showing that, Ted. I was very curious. So
I follow the topic of conversation. So
I know. He's like, wait a minute, I have one of those. Oh,
isn't that what
man.
we're supposed to do? Show off our toys?
Yes, yes. It's what we live for, and we dig all kinds of rabbit holes in this community. So
Yep.
all right. Eric, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Excellent, excellent. How are the weddings going? Is that slowing down since you're a wedding photographer?
Oh no, no, it's speeding up.
Oh, speeding up. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess
Because
we're in
we're in the northern part of the U.S. So our wedding season is in the summer and fall. So,
okay. All right.
yep. So I had one yesterday, and I have one today too, but it's not until 5:30. So I had a little bit of time to pop on before I had to leave. So
Okay, excellent. Anything new?
yeah. So Joe kind of already showed it because he opened my letter on the Zoom call. I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but he showed the little Instax print that I included in the letter with the Royal Mercury that I got recently.
Yes.
So it's there it is.
Nice.
So I actually have a machine similar to this already, and I almost didn't get this one because I'm not really a fan of the other one that I have. And I think I've shown this before, but this is a Royal Mariner, and it's basically the same machine.
Yep.
But this one types horribly. So, but the Mercury is much better. So I'm really happy that I got it. I like how portable it is. So I brought it with me to this state park that I like to go to on my days off. And I'll just find a picnic table and set up shop and type a letter.
Yeah. Very cool. Excellent.
Yeah, but other than that, not really a whole lot going on.
Okay. But
yeah,
that
just
that
go ahead.
Mercury works a lot better than the other one.
yeah, the Mariner is it doesn't have a very good imprint, and it's kind of noisy, like not like a clacky sound, but almost like a dull screechy sound.
Oh,
like
wow.
when you're typing, it kind of squeaks. It's like so it's really annoying.
Yeah, that would get annoying fast. Yeah. Now, do you know the years of each of those? Like, I'm wondering if like the blue one is like a later year, or
I think it might be earlier.
Okay.
What's the serial numbers? I can tell you.
Yeah, I looked at the serial number for the Mercury, and from what I could tell, it was probably like early 70s.
Okay.
I know I looked this one up, or maybe I just guessed. So, but I thought it might have been late 60s. It is 1457352.
1971.
1971. That was
Their date came.
Wow.
I wasn't expecting it to be that quick.
I know.
That's the thing. Silver Seiko, I'm firmly of the belief now that Japanese typewriter makers all use date coded serial numbers, or almost all. And
Okay.
Silver Seiko started their serial number series with 7 million in 1967. And I have, purchase copy, receipt dated machines with 1 million series digits selling in 1971. So it's like you look at that and you're like, oh, well, obviously they started with 7 million, 8 million, 9 million, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 for the 70s. So, and
All right.
Nakajima did the exact same thing. That's not actually on the database right now because it's just a theory that I have, but it just works for everything that I've looked at. So yeah, that's a 1971. What's the other one? It's probably a 60 something.
This one starts with a 2, 2, 2, 4, 7, 9.
1972 then. Yeah.
All right. That's what I thought. I thought it was either 71 or 72, just based on the other serial numbers for the other machines I saw in the typewriter database.
Yeah.
Very cool. It's interesting that the one that works better is a later model.
Yeah,
well, it's a better model. It's the Mercury
Okay.
has a tabulator and it's got better soundproofing and
I don't know if this one had a tabulator. I don't think it has a tabulator, but it does have the like a bichrome ribbon setting.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it's pretty much the same.
There's no tab key on it?
Nope.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
strange.
Well, you better get it in that typewriter database so that we have a record of it.
Yeah, I still haven't gotten around to becoming a typewriter hunter.
Oh.
You haven't?
I have to write a comment on your blog, and I just haven't gone through the process yet.
It's so easy.
I know.
Even I did it.
I'm sad you don't.
I haven't done it either.
I'm so sad.
I'm not usually the type of person to comment on anything, because I just don't like the idea that it's just out there forever. But then again, here I am on video on YouTube.
I know.
Be consistent with your phobias.
Yep. No, I don't have an excuse. I just.
It looks like Robert's raising his hand. Did you have a question or comment, Robert?
Yeah, just have here my my Royal. It's the same like Eric has.
Oh.
The Royal, but it's named Royal 200. But I think it's really the same as the Royal Mercury. It's one of my favorite ultra portables. And I would just want to show it because I have it with me in the holidays here.
Yeah.
And it also has the same case here, like yours, Eric. But you have it in beige, and I have it in blue now.
Yeah, so it's like my Mariner and Mercury had a baby, and that's what.
Yeah, something like this. And they were all created by Lytton.
Oh yeah, yeah.
LE was the big not manufacturer, more a trader for typewriters. And if Theodore is interested, my number is 1767850.
1971.
Ah, okay.
And as I said, what I'm very happy about it, I bought it some months ago from someone I know, and the platen is really soft. One of my best platens I have in my stock here from my machines. So I really like to type with it. I prefer it compared to the Hermes Baby.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I
Really
think that might be
solid
part of the
machine.
problem.
Hey?
Sorry. I was gonna say, I think that might be part of the problem of why my Mariner doesn't type as well. I think it also has like a harder platen than the Mercury does. But I saw the video that Joe made about how to take the platen out to resurface those, and it required a lot of tools, and I was just like, nope.
Yeah. Especially if it's already a typewriter you're not all that fond of, you know. Yeah.
But I was happy to find the Mercury, and part of the reason why I actually have that machine is because of the videos that Joe made about that machine. He clearly is very fond of them, so I figured, well, I'll take a chance. You know, I don't like the Mariner. There might not be that much of a chance of me liking this one if they're anything alike, but ended up being a much better typewriter, and it was only $35. So I was like, well, you know, if it ends up being crappy, then I'm not really losing that much. It's actually the cheapest typewriter I've bought. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might be possible. When I'm looking at my machine, I think it has just only a few hours of work. It looked really like brand new. And the seller told me it was a machine of his father, and I think he hasn't really used it a lot. So you can see here, it's not much usage here to see on this segment here. Here you can see it's really like brand new. Maybe Eric, your machine might have been more miles on it. That
Well,
could be
actually,
a problem. Because I think these machines were not built for long lasting. They were quite okay, but not to compare with an Olympia Adler or whatever.
Yeah.
But I like it very much. It has a good feel, and it's quite light and portable, and so it's okay.
Yeah. As far as the condition of my Mariner versus the Mercury, I would actually say that the Mariner is in better condition overall.
Wow.
Like cosmetically, it looked brand new when I got it, but it did not type like it was brand new. Yeah. The Mercury is it's kind of beat up, but I mean, it's a travel typewriter anyway, and so for me, like it's not the type of typewriter that I have to worry about. You know, I can just take it out, and you know, it's already pretty beat up, so I don't really care as much if it gets a few scratches or dings or whatever, as long as it works.
That's it. I think it's a machine for using and not for collecting. And it's really a machine to take with me, or keep it in the car or whatever. And whenever you want to do something, it's a robust and reliable machine. So great thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so brothers and sisters here.
Yeah. And Eric, was there anything else new with you?
No, not really. I've been on a bit of a fountain pen buying binge. But I have there's two that I'm waiting for an Estabrook SJ and a Wall Eversharp Skyline. I'll be getting sometime next week. Other than that, I can't remember if it's been a few weeks since I've been on, so I can't remember if there's other ones that I've got that I haven't shown yet. But but seeing as this is more of a typewriter channel, I'll keep it to the typewriters for now.
Excellent. I don't know if you're familiar with the Jinhao 80.
Nope.
Okay. Are you familiar with the what is it? The Lamy 2000?
Yep.
Well, basically the Jinhao 80 is an $8 version of the Lamy 2000. I recently got it. Yes. I'll show it real quick. Why not? Let's see. Here we go. Yeah. So now I got the all black version, so the clip is black, and I don't know if you can make out the. You can't really pick out the texture on there, but it has the same texture as the Lamy 2000. The nib is even the shape of the Lamy 2000.
Yeah, but it's not like hooded with the Lamy.
Not hooded, no.
Yeah,
it's not hooded, but I actually kind of like that about it.
Yeah,
because I'm growing to like hooded nibs, but I still prefer to see the actual nib though.
well, now that you showed yours, now I have to show mine. So.
I know, right? I opened the can, so.
So this is one that I just recently got. And speaking of hooded nibs, this is a Parker 45, which I got new old stock from Proto Pens, which is a place in I think it's where is it? Oh, it's North Macedonia. I was gonna say Yugoslavia, but I don't. But it was new old stock, and it has a fine nib. It's not completely hooded, but kind of like semi-hooded. So it always writes wet, which is really nice. But like it's not completely hooded, so you can still kind of get to see the nib, which I like. So that's one of them. And then the other one that I got recently is the special edition Pelican M605 with the black tortoise finish.
That's beautiful.
And I got this one from Appelboom in the Netherlands, and I had them work on the nib for me. So they tuned and smoothed it, and it writes really nice. So
wow,
really happy with that. Yeah,
very cool. Yeah, those are beautiful.
Yeah, I just love fountain pens.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
have to say, in addition to slowing down with buying typewriters, I've really slowed down on buying fountain pens. Also, that one was the first one I had bought in probably a couple months. So I'm slowing down. Well, part of it is I'm like trying to get stuff organized and move some stuff to storage and whatnot. So it's not a good time to be bringing new things into the house. So yeah, excellent. Well, thank you for showing those pens, Eric. I think most of us like fountain pens, so very cool.
Yeah. I've definitely gotten that impression. A lot of people that are into typewriters are also into fountain pens, so it's kind of interesting how they go hand in hand.
Yeah. Well, it all writes. Yeah. All right. Well, it's so good to see you, Eric.
You as well.
Right. Hello to Bill.
Oh. How are you, Gregory?
Good. Yeah, what's new in your world?
Boy, nothing new in my world.
Okay. But sometimes that can be a good thing too.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm thinking I'm about 9 months into my typewriter fast at this point.
Oh wow, yeah.
So time's actually been flying by when I stopped to think about it. It was interesting. I was thinking about Ted as he was talking earlier, and with all of his various technology toys. Back when I lived in Austin, there was a place called Radio Ranch, and I get the impression it was a guy who was probably very much like Ted. He had but in his case, he had accumulated so much stuff at his residence. He ended up starting his own store, and he called it Radio Ranch, and it was the kind of place I would visit just for the fun of it. I don't know that I'm trying to remember if I ever bought anything there, but he had everything from like I don't know if you remember the old Apple Lisa, which is kind of like a predecessor to it came, I think, in between like the original Apple computer and the Macintosh, somewhere in there. He had like an old, the biggest thing he had was an old working scoreboard from a high school basketball court, where you could actually, and old medical equipment and any kind of obsolete technology, he had it there, and it was just kind of a fascinating place to spend some time.
Yeah.
But I'd forgotten all about that place until Ted pulled out the CB portable CB radio. So
yeah. Do you recall if he had any typewriters there?
I don't, and it was funny. I was actually thinking about that as well. At that point in my life, he could have had a dozen typewriters, and I don't know that I would have ever noticed.
Yeah.
So his focus was primarily on things that had something to do with electricity. So
Yeah, that's
which I
true.
think Radio Ranch is kind of where how the name came about. So I don't know that he had any typewriters.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So nothing like Ted, really.
Well, yeah.
Or he's halfway.
I just commented on Ted's blog last night. He had made an update to the typewriter database and left a comment, time to make the donuts. And I had forgotten all about the old Dunkin' Donuts commercial from the 80s. And I was like, oh my God, what? I had a major flashback to the guy with the mustache, you know. I don't know if anybody else remembers the commercial, but it was really funny.
I'll have to go back and look at those now.
Yeah, I'm sure they're out there.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Very cool. I was wondering if they have any place like that in Portland, the Radio Ranch.
They surely they do somewhere. I can't think of where it is, what it might be at this point.
Okay.
Radio Ranch in Austin, it wasn't very far from where I happened to live. So
nice.
And the owner of the place actually lived in my neighborhood. So
okay.
he had like a house. He had like 2 lots, and he had a house, and then he had this, it looked like a miniature airplane hangar or something. And I guess that's where he had accumulated his collection of things and had all the space to store them before starting his store.
Yeah, yeah. Was that the kind of place that you could go there and just, you know, expect like conversation and hanging out, or was it more just browsing, or?
Well, in my case, it was more just browsing, but surely any place like that draws like-minded people, you know?
Yeah.
So, and it's, you know, it's been so long ago now, stretching back over 2 decades ago, that my recollections at this point are kind of vague.
Okay. Okay.
I just was always tickled to drop in there, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, in places like that, you never know what you're gonna find. So
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and fun.
Yeah, yeah. And I was just remembering that your little hand radio, the little circle one that you have.
Oh, my Toodaloop.
Toodaloop, yeah.
This guy.
Yeah, there you go. That's probably sort of kind of the thing he would have in there, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. This could have fit in there.
Yeah. Oh, very cool. All right. Well,
good memory.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's still on my wish list, actually. But is there anything else new with you?
No, I was just mentioning on the call last night, I did quite a bit of typing with the Good Companion after I got it, you know, up and working, and it's being a little stubborn. I got to the point where I got tired of typing on it. It's going to need some more thorough cleaning, you know, some more thorough degreasing, and it got, you know, so hot here this past week. I haven't wanted to go spend any time working out in the garage where the workbench is, and so I ended up putting the Good Companion away for the time being, and just it's nice to pull out just a different typewriter that just worked exactly like it's supposed to.
Yeah.
But it was kind of a similar to the faucets in that, you know, that grease or lubricant that they used in the construction of the machine, just, you know, it's going to take either more patience on my part, or I'm going to have to hit it with something a little more brutal, you know, than the paint thinner. So I haven't decided which route to go with the faucets. I just ended up taking my time and not worrying about how many times it took me to keep, you know, cleaning and flushing. And And so I'm not sure what approach I'll take with a good companion yet, but I've got time to figure it out.
Yeah. PB Blaster. No.
No, I stay away from that stuff.
I think I have some, but I've been too afraid to use it. So yeah. So I hear it smells very bad. So, and it's very powerful stuff. So yeah.
It stinks horribly, but there are certain times when it's called for.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, not in the house.
Yeah. Definitely not. All right, Bill. It was so good seeing you, Bill.
Likewise.
All right. And
Hey,
Karen, how
I
are
have
you?
a question.
Oh, yes, yes. Go ahead.
Sorry,
David.
I have a question for Bill.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I kind of missed the whole message board of Type Pals with the sequential letters. I admit I am totally out of my mind to check from time to time about the forum, the message board, and I was just wondering. So I understand maybe the first letter has been sent or more than that, Bill.
Just the one, unless somebody else started one. Has it made its way to you yet, Ted?
I already sent it out to back to England.
To Lee, okay.
So
So it's on its last leg now.
yeah, that was last week.
Okay.
Or this past week. So
Oh, cool. Okay.
yeah, I sent
Yeah,
it out
so
the next day.
wow.
Very cool.
Awesome.
I'm very
Yeah,
efficient.
so only the one, Daniel.
Well, that's good because that means there's room for another group, another bunch of people to start, another chain.
Yeah.
So I might do that.
There
That'd
you
be
go.
cool.
Yeah. You're a
Thank
trendsetter,
you.
Bill.
Yeah, it's a great idea, and I just missed it. But anyway, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and there were other people. One who had just joined Type Pals here this past week that had expressed interest in participating. So I'm sure if others are started, there will be people that will be willing to participate, as would I. So
Yeah, definitely. Very cool.
Great. I'll use the forum then to indicate so and look up for the person or two, or whatever that indicated their interest and missed the first batch or the first
trial run.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, that's it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, definitely. And I should really be better about going in the forums and picking stuff like that out and promoting it in the newsletter and on the podcast. So I'm going to try and be better about that. Yeah. So all right.
So
Yes.
Ted, I just commented on your blog asking to be a typewriter hunter. So
Excellent. You made Ted very happy.
No, you can't.
Oh, you're too late. No.
Speaking from experience, it doesn't mean that you're actually going to manage to post your typewriters. I'm
I
just
know.
saying.
well, it's the first step.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Baby steps. But yes, Kara, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm pretty good.
Excellent.
I guess I'm hot because it's ridiculously hot here for stupid climate change reasons.
Yeah.
But it never used to be. I mean, part of the fun of living in Western Oregon is that it would be like 95 degrees a couple of days, and then that would be it. And now it's been like a week we've been hitting 100 or almost 100.
Oh man.
10 days. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, at least it still kind of cools off at night, but anyway.
You
So
may as
hot.
well have stayed in California.
I know, right? I know. I keep looking at the San Diego weather and going, oh, it's 77 degrees there. But then I look out at my beautiful yard full of fruit and vegetables and birds, and I think, and and the neighbors are far away, and I think, yeah, no, I like it.
Yeah,
So, and I walk over to the river, and the dog jumps in, and we're good.
yeah. You posted that picture of you were laying in the hammock under your, I think, a grapevine or something.
Yes, a great Barbara, yeah.
Oh, that looked wonderful.
And it was like, it was like 97 degrees, but I was just like, if I just hold still, I don't want too much.
It was pretty well shaded though, right?
Yeah, it's because we cut them back because we rebuilt the grape arbor, and then it just went, it's like, wee,
Yeah.
And it's probably the 1 year, because it's this year's growth. It's the 1 year that we don't have to worry about rotten grapes falling on you while you're in the hammock. So
there you go.
that'll be next year.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, go ahead.
I heard somebody say that Eric was looking for a Hermes. Was that this Eric?
Yes.
Eric, I just chatted to you. Did you get my message? I can just say it out.
Yeah, I see it now.
So somebody contacted me because they inherited a couple of Hermes 3000s from their neighbor, and they wanted to sell them. And would I help them with that? And I was like, that doesn't sound like a very hard thing to do. So
yeah, I mean, I
is
guess
that what you're looking for, a 3000, or what are you looking for?
Yeah, I would love a 3000 with the curvy type. Or I mean, the box type would be nice too, but the curvy one is probably.
She has one of each.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I just don't want to spend like $500 or
Yeah.
So,
well,
yeah.
I'm hoping that I can say, here, why don't you take this much money plus shipping, and I'll pack it, and that it could be a reasonable price because I'm sending it to a good home. But I don't know. I don't think she's very attached to them. I think they came from her neighbor who died. So,
yeah.
But I'm looking at them tomorrow. Eric, if you want to send me your email in the chat or something, I can let you know once I've looked at them.
Yeah.
I know a couple people who are interested, but I don't know who is how interested. So the simpler, the better for me, because I really don't want to suddenly find myself the proud owner of 2 typewriters I never set out to. I'm not going into the Hermes realm. I'm trying to let go of machines, but don't say that. Because of course, the minute I said that, then I saw Tony on Typespace in Portland, right? And then he posts on, I think it was Instagram, like, here's a couple of new ones in the shop, and one of them was a red Royal P, and I was like, how much is that one, Tony? And it's less than what the store credit that I have with him is.
Uh-oh.
So I thought, I know, and I was like, don't do it, just don't do it. And I thought, oh, but if I go on Type Pals, they'll all tell me to get it.
There you go. Get it.
You know that feeling when you want to get a machine, but you kind of know that it will be not quite. I feel like it would be kind of overwhelming to have a red Royal P.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes machines are just too much, and I've never really managed to hang on to red ones. I've had a couple of Corona maroon flat tops, and I had a red Custom 3, and I had other red ones. They kind of come and go. All the colored ones come and go. I always end up with the black and gray and brown ones. I don't know why. So maybe it's the universe testing me.
There you go. You like those traditional colors.
I think so. I think I find it distracting to type on a brightly colored machine, but
yeah.
Well,
Well,
at the same time, I'm like, I could get a red Royal P virtually for free. Oh, that's not exactly for free, but still. Anyway. What were you going to say, Greg?
I have a Unis TBM Deluxe, which is basically an Olympia Traveler Deluxe, the red with the white trim. And whenever I type on it, I'm totally thinking Christmas, Santa Claus. So it is a little distracting. My red-ish Hermes Rocket, the one with the script typeface, that one's a lot less distracting because it's not really bold. The Unis is you don't get much more red than that. That's very red. So yeah.
Sarah, are you a touch typist?
Oh, me?
Yeah. Oh, I thought you said Eric. Sorry.
You say
Oh,
Eric
no.
or Pierre?
Care.
I'm sort of a semi-touch typist. Like
Okay.
I had one that had the legends were all blurred out on it, and I was very much a touch typist on that one because I couldn't cheat. But I do look at the typewriter when I type, if that's what
Okay.
you're asking.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at, because I've read about how the comment you just made to the effect that you were distracted by the typewriter, and I don't think I've ever really noticed anything about any of the typewriters except for maybe the paper bail when I'm actually typing, you know.
Oh, uh-huh.
And so you kind of brought things full circle for me. Because I hadn't thought about that for a while, but your comment about the red typewriters and just being distracting, that would make more sense if you're actually looking at the typewriter itself when you're typing. So
Right. And maybe you would get used to it, but like I had a turquoise Royal QDL for a while, but also I didn't really like, it sounded kind of tinny, you know, those ones when they made them colorful, they kind of made them not as good, I think. But yeah, between the color and the clunkiness of it, I passed that one on. But what case, does anybody else here get distracted by colorful machines, find it harder to type on them, or no? Dan says no.
Yeah,
No, it's just me.
with me, just the Unis, which is that red and white. Well, it also doesn't help that it has all the funny characters, the European characters.
Oh.
So that kind of throws me off. I think it's also my only QWERTZ, so that's another thing that throws me off. So as a result,
right.
I haven't typed on it a lot just because I'm already not like the fastest typist. I mean, if I know what I'm going to write, I can type pretty fast.
I've heard you're a poor typist, actually.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But with those other things slowing me down, it really becomes a hindrance. So, although I enjoy typing on it, but yeah, maybe I'll use it for like shorter notes and that sort of thing. Because it's a good typewriter, definitely. Yeah. Christoph, you had your hand up?
Yeah, just a little question.
Yes.
For I think I made something wrong. Because I have it on VRMS, but I think I put the ribbon correctly. I don't understand why it happens. Which is correct, no?
Nope.
No?
No, the ribbon should live outside the two forks you see inside the silver part here. The ribbon should be on the outside of those forks.
Okay.
And then come through the ribbon holders.
Ouais.
Which is
Alors, tu commences par mettre le ruban de l'autre côté et ensuite tu le fais passer à travers les petits
D'accord.
clips.
Ok, non, j'ai qu'une main. Attends. At the outside. Okay.
Yes.
At the outside and then
Oui.
at the
Le plus proche du
inside.
papier.
Ok.
C'est ça. Toujours le ruban le plus proche du papier possible, au centre.
Ok. And
Non,
then
non, de l'autre côté.
Side.
All the way in the back. All the way in the
paper
back.
side.
There you go.
C'est ça. Et là, il y en a
Ok.
deux, là. Il faut que tu sois des deux côtés. On ne voit pas à gauche, mais...
okay. And then here, no? Okay.
Yeah, so you'll have to bend the ribbon a little bit.
Okay, this one.
C'est ça.
Okay, thank you. Ah, that's better. Oh,
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
because you want the middle of the ribbon to be as close to the paper as possible. So
Okay, thank you.
yeah, you're welcome.
Ah, that's better. Thank you.
There you go. And thank you to Daniel for the translation there as well.
Thanks, Daniel.
All right. And Carrie, was there anything else new with you?
No, I was just going to work on writing a letter to my cousin that I started in May.
Oh, wow. Now, how much of the content in the first part of the letter has changed? Like, do you have to go back and edit anything?
I'm not going to go back, but most of it's not relevant anymore.
Oh.
Well, I'll just keep going. That's my way to go forward. But yeah, I haven't actually been typing much at all, and I haven't been writing letters, and that's kind of sad, isn't it? Because my wife tells me, like, when I'm depressed or anxious or just like in their way, I guess, just like, go type.
Oh.
So yeah, and I haven't been on here, and I miss y'all, and so I thought, well, maybe I didn't quite know what to do with myself this morning, so I thought I'll type, and I'll go to type now. So thanks for being here.
Yeah, of course. And it's good to see you again.
Yeah, I don't know how long I'm gonna stay on because it's kind of hot in this particular corner, but you know, we have air conditioning, but I'm just so miserly. I don't want to turn it very cold because that's part of the problem, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. First time in my life I have air conditioning now. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm sure you didn't need it down in San Diego.
No, you know, there were a few days where we kind of did, but
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to see y'all.
Yeah, it's good to see you too, Care. All right. Dan, how are you doing? Dan Linder, I should say.
Yeah. Hello. I'm doing fine. Nice to see you all. I've been on the show on this broadcast for a couple of weeks because I've been on vacation. Not a good excuse, but the last weekend I've been absolutely drowning in typewriters, which is very cool. Business are a booming, not for me that sells them, but for the person who sells them to me. Oh, it's been a ride actually, because I currently I'm doing my exhibit at the local library.
Oh yeah.
And and the news station, the local radio news station, did a thing on it, and the local newspaper did a thing on it, and 7 people called me in a within 3 or 4 hours last Monday to say, I got a typewriter, you want to come and look at it? And so I got about 1 or 2 now, but I'm looking for more. But it's very, very good. It's very, very nice. So I had an old man having said, just call me. He lives about 5 minutes walking distance from my house. So he said, oh, I have something, you can come and look at it. And I thought, maybe it's a Scholz-Glidden, maybe it is. And he said, no, it's been my grandfather's. This man was in his 70s. So he said, my grandfather used it in the 20s. Haven't used it ever. It's been sitting in my garage for 45, 50 years. And it was this little fella. The Corona 4, which was web. It's very, very glossy. And it's very nice. The platen is somewhat smudgy. I don't know if you can see this, but I tried to insert a paper. It got leaving trails. So it's otherwise it's working out fine. So it's been a good week for typewriters and stuff like that. And I've been looking. Somebody sent me actually the funniest thing happened, because maybe some of you have noticed this because I posted on the forum, but still, the day after my birthday last week, I had a former colleague who was on vacation in southern Sweden, and she said, well, we were passing this yard sale. It was a scruffy looking typewriter, only $200. And I said, what, how bad can it be for 200? No, 200 Swedish krona, which is about $20. And they turned on, and it was an Erica M.
Oh.
and Erica M in pristine condition with the paraphernalia, the brushes and everything is in for 200 Swedish krona, which is about 19 bucks. So actually,
I remember seeing that post.
Yeah, everything and the case and everything. It says like go back, and they have 3 kids. So possibly her and her husband stuffed them all in and gets go back. And so it's waiting for me now in a caravan somewhere. But it's very, very nice. So it's been a good week. It's very, very nice. People get in touch with people who had hidden treasures in their closets and say, come and look at it. And I've been very, very curious. So it's been a good week.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's about it. As speaking about colors, I'm not too much of a Reliance there, because the first typewriter I ever got for Christmas, you, Gregory, speaking about the red ones, I got a hot rod red and black Silver Reed EP 180 when I turned 14, and an electric typewriter. So it was Christmas
wow.
red. So I sort of got used to it for. So actually, when I turned into a Mac, I did the tiny Macs that came in the early 90s. I felt it was very bleak. I felt it was very boring, which is just oyster shell gray and not this alarming kind of red color that I was used to. So I go back to it, but I thought I got a hard start with colors, I think, but it's very good typewriter. So it's been a good week. It's been a good week. Otherwise, it's not much of a typewriter thing going on because I'm getting married within 13 days now.
Oh my goodness!
We're going off after that for 2 weeks on a honeymoon. So it's the current discussion at home is whether or not. No, of course I will bring one, but which one to the honeymoon? So we're going to fly an awful kind of distance. We're going to Aruba. So it's going. So I'll promptly want to take a typewriter with me, but since we are on a honeymoon, it might be. I don't know. I should bring one for my future wife as well.
At least you could type side by side.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, total harmony. I'm hoping for that. So I don't know how that struggle will go on. I'll report back to you later because.
Okay.
Now that's a nice one.
Yeah.
So it's good to be back. I haven't been around for a couple of weeks, and I've been missing you. So it's great to be back to see you all.
Yeah, well, we have missed you as well. Definitely. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Rich, how are you doing?
Greetings.
Greetings.
Yeah. So I'm back.
Yeah.
Here 1 week, not here the next week, but
that's okay.
Just kind of busy. So it's nice to be back and see all your smiling faces again. I do watch it. It's pretty interesting. It sometimes takes me 4 days to get through it because an hour a day with all the interruptions at work, it's about all I can get to. But
yeah.
One of the things I did was I found a typewriter because I just don't need anymore. But I made an exception for this one because it's a Smith Corona, but the label says United States Army on it.
Oh.
So I have actually been looking for one like that for a while, and I actually didn't think I was going to find one because I don't think that I didn't know they labeled them, and I don't think they made them. I mean, the Army didn't go out and have any specially made for them. That would be too costly.
Yeah.
But, I didn't know that they had labeled them. So every once in a while, I Google, or not Google, but search different places for an Army typewriter. And usually you get Army green, but it's not really Army, it's just green.
Yeah.
But I came across this one and I thought, wow, this is just pretty amazing. It's got a couple issues. There's a lot of smudges all over the paper when you type. There's like no real pattern to it. So I don't think it's coming off rollers. I cleaned off the platen. It still does it. So it's probably, I don't know if it's the plate underneath or something like that. That's got something in there I have to take apart and clean. A couple, I wouldn't call them totally sticky keys, but it's just not snappy like it should be. You'd expect a Corona like that. It's a 1938. I've got a what I was planning to do with it is I've got, I don't know if you can see it from here. It might be too dark right there. Let's see, right there. That dark box
Yeah.
is actually it's a field desk, an Army field desk from I forgot the year. I want to say it's 41 or 42. And on the inside, it's got the nice wood with the cubby holes, all that kind of stuff. So that's what I was looking for, a typewriter to match up to that, and maybe some kind of hardware or something for a light and that kind of stuff. So I just got to set it up, and now I've got the machine to put in it. And so I was kind of happy about that. Just, but it's kind of like, that was that thing I read. I'm almost done with the project I'm working on. It's just I can get it done as soon as I finish the other 10 I started. Kind of got a lot of stuff that I keep busy with. So that's my typewriter thing. Also, what I got on the theme of the Army. I was at a military flea market and got this. That might be too bright.
There we go.
Yeah.
Nice.
So these,
Awesome.
yeah, these were labeled as World War II. So 40s sometime, and they look it. I didn't buy them to store them. I'm going to use them. So it was kind of like, I think the guy let me have it for $10, which is what you pay for almost any stationery, I think. So it wasn't a huge loss, but I was kind of happy about that. And then in the mail after that came, we had donated to paralyzed veterans, I think this one was, and they sent us some address labels.
Oh, cool.
I mean, a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
And y'all may get some of this stuff too, but I thought it was kind of coincidental. I got all this military theme stuff to put on those envelopes.
Sweet.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of cool. It's now all I have to do, is write letters. I'm like behind. But so anyway, that was that. I didn't do a prompt, but I did write another story. I sat at the typewriter earlier this week, and I didn't know what I wanted to use it. I didn't know why. And so I just stuck some paper and actually little 4x6 cards. And I just started typing a story. I had no idea where it was going, or, what it was about, until I just evolved. And I finished it, but I didn't, it was only like 2.5 4x6 cards, but I didn't, in fact, I'm not even sure where I put it now. I didn't edit it. So I got to go back and edit it because there's things I want to move around, but it's kind of fun. I don't know if y'all do that. You just stick a piece of paper in and just start imagining things, and do whatever you want. I mean, it's your world.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And also I finished a painting this morning. That one, it's probably too far away for you to see.
There we go.
It's actually, so that's, it's too fuzzy, I think. On my screen it is. I don't know how it comes across the internet, but this is a glacier. And if you were to see it in person, these are mountains and a glacier. But that was actually from inspired. We went down to, Darwin had gone through what is it called? The Glacier Alley down in Patagonia, where the cruise goes through Glacier Alley, and there's these huge glaciers on the sides. Imagine they were a lot bigger some time ago. But it's pretty, it leaves a nice impression in your head of, these giant glaciers and stuff. And saw another one too. I did a little painting of it, and I want to make a bigger one of Mont Blanc, where there's this glacier right coming off the top. It just looks like a snowpack, but really it just stays there. It never goes anywhere. So it's a glacier. And those are kind of fun to do. So anyway, one of the 10 projects that are in the way of my main project. So. But that's I think that's all the news that's from me today.
Okay.
Good to see you all.
Good to see you too. And I love that painting.
Thank you.
That's excellent. All right. Diane is hard at work.
Hi.
How are you, Diane?
I'm fine, thank you. Yeah, you guys were talking about how hot it is and not wanting to work on typewriters. It's like, duh, what the hell am I doing inside? Before we get the heat back.
Yeah.
And it's Sunday.
So what are you working on right now?
I'm working on the SG1 that I inherited when I went to church last week. I came home with an SG1 and a Selectric 2.
Yeah.
That I was not expecting to have. Know what I mean?
Yep. They literally fell into your lap.
They literally do. Well, when it starts out with a note that says she collects typewriters. So they were holding on to it for me.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
But it's got this particular one. Yeah, I had the air compressor on yesterday. I'll have to do it again today, but I just took the carriage assembly off, and the feed roll, the small feed rollers are flat. They got a flat spot on them, and I can see where they kind of went in on the platen, and now there's more dirt that I didn't get at yesterday when I was blowing this thing out, and one of the paper, I don't know what you call. Yeah, the terminology is escaping me at the moment. Oops. These things here, the card holders, doesn't want to stay in its little spot like it should.
Oh.
It's in the rear. But yeah, there's a bunch of loose. I was just cleaning out the inside of the ribbon cover and got rid of all the loose insulation that was in there. So what you see is the glue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's I got it all out. I'm like, this is just nasty, and I know I had problems with one of my other SG ones because of some loose stuff that basically tangled up the machine and made it not work. And it's like, seriously, that's all it was. That sucks,
What are you gonna replace it with?
Probably nothing for right now.
Well, that works too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have anything to replace it with.
Diane, those plastic, what you're just referring to there, the paper holder, earlier I was telling folks I picked up a SG1 also just recently, and on mine there's a lever. If you're looking straight down the machine, right in front of those, there's a lever that moves to the left and right, and in one position it holds them tight against the platen, and in the other position lets them flop back.
It lets them flop back. I guess the fact is that I don't think on any of my SG1s, I don't think these things actually work the way they should.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm aware of that. But it doesn't want to stay in that piece of metal that moves.
Yeah.
It's literally not staying in there. I can get it in there, but it doesn't want to stay. And I think I need more tools than I only came out here today to clean the guts of this thing because the temperature's decent and it's sunny. We're not having 9 inches of rain and or 100 degrees, 100 plus degrees one week and 10 inches of rain the next week, and that kind of stinks.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what we've had.
Wow.
Brenda might have gotten more rain than I did, but
no, we didn't. We're out in High Ridge, so we're not close to any of that. We hardly got any rain.
Yeah, we got some rain. I don't know how much. It didn't make the news. Let's put it that way. So.
Excellent. And Diane, was there anything else new with you?
No. I took the Selectric to the local shop. Like they need anything else of mine to work on. But it's like, yeah, it's like, well, I didn't want to plug it in out here because I'm like, well, it can't even reach the plug, and it's like I didn't want to mess around with an extension cord, and so I took it over there one day, but I didn't have the time because I had to come back home for a meeting, which sounds strange, but that's basically what it was. I didn't have time because he every now and then they get to yakking a bit. Or the one guy's on vacation, the other guy got to yakking a bit, and it's like I couldn't wait for him. So I said I'll bring it back on Friday.
Oh,
that guy's only there for 3 days a week, and the other guy's on vacation. So
where are you taking your stuff to Jones?
Yeah.
Okay. Is he on Big Bend or not?
He is on Greenwood. I mean, it's like it's right there close to Big Bend and Manchester. That's the biggest intersection.
Do you go to those, have you been to those antique malls there on Big Bend lately?
Not recently.
Well, that's where I just found like 3 typewriters.
Yeah.
They had a Model O in the one, which is I think it's $119 for it. It seemed to work pretty well.
Yeah, I haven't been in there since the pandemic started. I just haven't had the I don't know. I really haven't, between the pandemic and then my hip hurting, and having to have it replaced. Now the other hip is hurting.
Oh no.
Yeah, tell me about it. Anyway, so I haven't really been in any antique stores just because it's too hard for me to get around in them.
Yeah.
So saving money.
Yep.
Plus, most of the time I don't find any Smith Premiers in there anyway. But yeah, I found my my Corona 3 mil in the Treasure Isles one. That's the one that has the all caps slugs and the lowercase keyboard. But yeah, I found that one there. I don't know, a few years before the pandemic. Boy, that sounds weird. A few years before the pandemic.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't been to any of the local stores. I'm kind of full up on typewriters.
And as it is, the typewriters are coming to you now. So
I don't need them to come to me. I only want one to come to me.
Oh.
But no, I'm happy with what I have. I could use a lot less, but you know, such as the life of collectors, we can always use less.
But there's no fun in that.
Well, you know, part of the fun I think was getting them, was finding them, and then getting them to the point where they would at least work.
Yeah,
You know, I think that's part of the fun.
that's true. Yeah.
This one has a the left flat knob is slightly bent, not enough that it won't turn, but it's just bent.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't know that was 2 pieces. I didn't know that was a piece of. I've never paid that close of attention to it, but yeah, that's a piece of rubber in there. Go figure.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, it's so good to see you, Diane.
Yeah, it's good to see you too, Greg. Good to see
Excellent.
everybody.
Excellent. Ted, is that a typing prompt in your typewriter there? Or maybe it's just a typing.
Is in fact a typing prompt.
Yay! Would you care to share it?
I could share it if you wanted me to.
Yeah.
Not very good.
That's okay. If it involves bulbous, it's good.
It's bulbous. So I wrote down bulbous and underlined it, and I thought, the bigger sister of this rocket is very bulbous. At least it was until 1966, when the Hermes 3000 went to Squaresville. The Swiss must have liked that because in 1971, it got even more square. However, the baby/rocket never went any more square than it was in 1964. It never was all that bulbous, though. Bulbous, bulbous, bulbous. I'm not sure I have very much more to say about that word. It's weird, even if you don't say it over and over. In fact, I don't want to say it anymore.
Excellent, excellent.
Nice.
It's one of those words that it's like, how did this even become a word? It's just a weird word.
It's like a bulb.
Yeah, there you go. And yet it's one of my favorite words.
You know, it came after flowers.
There you go. There you go.
Light bulbs.
Yeah, yeah. Well, excellent. Thank you for sharing that, Ted.
You're welcome. Let me know anytime you want bad poetry. I can do that.
All right, excellent. Do you charge money for it?
Do you really think I should?
Well, you maybe, but not much though. I'd give you a $1 maybe.
But it
All
was
right.
an interesting expose on the development of that brand over
Mhm.
time.
There you go. Yeah.
And maybe that's a thing of the 60s and 70s or whatever, more space age kind of edges.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, went to Squaresville.
Bulbous, bulbous, bulbous.
Bulbous, bulbous.
Excellent. Let's see. Mike, how are you doing? Mike Durling.
I'm doing fine. We're doing good here. Not a whole lot new to report, but thought I would check in. I haven't gotten any new typewriters. I'm trying not to get any more typewriters for the time being because they're piling up, and really got to get rid of some of the clutter here somewhere.
Yeah.
So that's the old saying is, when you're in a hole, the first thing, and you're trying to get out, the first thing you got to do is stop digging. So
Yeah.
So, and typewriters are not the only thing I'm trying to resist adding to the collection. So,
I know. Yeah. You have a lot of interests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, trying to not add any more interest to it.
Yeah.
At least work on the ones I have, or at least get things off the workbench so I can finish up some of the other projects I've got started. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel your pain.
right now there's, I've got typewriters to work on, nice Remington Portable 3 and stuff that I got a while back, but needs new feed rollers, which I can do, but I need to get some other stuff off the workbench to work on it. So
Yeah. Either that or you need a bigger workbench.
the workbenches, I've got 2 workbenches. They're plenty big, but they're just so much stuff on them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
One of them is 12 feet long or something. I don't know.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah.
But I've got this much workspace on it.
Yeah.
Well, I got a big photo enlarger on one end and a bunch of tools down the other end, and then projects in the middle. So
Exactly. And somewhere in there you have your little press and
press is on the bench. Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
And then there's a bigger press behind me, but that's under other stuff. So
Okay.
really got some sewing machine projects from like 10 years ago that I got to finish to get to everything else. So.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you're not going to run out of things to do anytime soon.
No, it's just sometimes getting the ambition up to do them. Now the problem is the workbench is always in the garage, and it's pretty warm out there these days.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, we've been in the 90s for the last week or two. So it's, in the high 80s down there. And it's just, you don't want to stay down there too long.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. At least that's my
Sounds
excuse.
familiar.
Yeah. I can bring stuff upstairs, but
Yeah.
you don't want to make a mess upstairs. So.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to keep your mess in one place.
Yeah, well, there's messes all over the place, but different messes. And my wife's the same way, so
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So.
And is the dog coming down any, or still very much in the puppy phase?
Oh, he's very much in the puppy phase. Right now he's taking a nap, so it's great.
Okay.
But yeah, he's just pretty wild and everything. He just turned 5 months, so.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So he still has another 7 months at least of puppyhood. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's just jumping all over us and jumping up and biting a lot and scratching and everything else. So
Yeah, we saw the biting that one time he was on camera, and he was like, I don't remember what he was biting, the corner of the desk or paper or something.
Might have been. The typewriters are metal, so he doesn't really go after them too much.
Yeah.
I think he did go after a knob one time. But,
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But everything else, I mean, you see like up in the top there, I've got stuff piled on the speaker. Well, that's just the stuff to keep away from Louis. So.
Yeah.
Excellent. But yeah, so I haven't even done much typing, although I did actually do the typing prompt this morning. So.
Oh, cool. Yeah, if you want to share that, go for it.
Okay.
Word of the day is bulbous.
Yeah. Well, and I'm not sure where you found that word, but I mean, this is the. Let's see. Bulbous, something round like a bulb and bloated. We often think something bulbous moves slowly, if at all. Bulbous ripe peaches weighed down the branches. The bulbous pregnant possum waddled down the lane. Yet with a touch of irony, we might try to describe something as fast and bulbous. Don Van Vliet, aka Captain Bullfart, opined, a squid eating dough in a polyethylene bag is fast and bulbous. While our brains perceive this as an unlikely scenario, it creates an indelible mental image. We can easily imagine a flock of bulbous vultures feasting on a carcass. Surely they would fly away if startled. The initiator of this typing prompt probably enjoys the music and poetry of Captain Beefheart. The seminal album Trout Mask Replica contains this untitled bulbous chant. Fast and bulbous. That's right, the mascara snake, fast and bulbous. Also a tin teardrop. Bulbous, also tapered. That's right. The lines were alternately recited by Beefheart and his uncle, the mascara snake. Like many of the song lyrics on the album, this is a bit of absurdist poetry, intended to create mental images that are not too easily pictured. The stark nature of this recitation makes it stand out. We may not say bulbous in our daily vocabulary. These lines may inspire us to see more things that way, or not.
Excellent.
So anyway, that's all I got. It's hard to make a story out of bulbous.
That's
and
fun.
you did. I think I might have that Captain Beefheart album. Yeah, I'll have to go back and dig it out on vinyl. So yeah.
Yeah, I've got vinyl. I think I've got a vinyl and CD.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, great album, but most people takes getting used to because it's different than anything else.
That's my, to sum up my musical taste, that's basically what I listen to is different things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's got great guitar work on it. I mean, it's in the poetry. I mean, there's a whole thing on YouTube where a classical composer like breaks it down and analyzes the songs in terms of, meter and, tonality and everything like that. And, also does interviews with the participants. So it's something that's stood the test of time.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Excellent. Well, thank you again for sharing that, Mike.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right. And let's see. Larry, are you there? I bet he has the grandkids over.
Oh, I was going to add one more thing. I mean,
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
For what I used for padding inside of my SG1 was there was brown stick-on felt from Joanne Fabric that you can cut out. So that
Yeah.
worked out pretty well. I've used
Excellent.
that in a bunch of things and use it, like Ted says, with some foam and other sort of metal, JP1s and stuff like that. But,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
probably need even more to do it the way Ted says about squeezing them in from the sides and all.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it works pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was my thought too, using felt, because I have some felt here that I've had before. I haven't used it as insulation, but it comes in handy for other things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You-
definitely.
And you get the foam. Yeah, I got this big stack of foam with adhesive backing on it. And I got it in I guess in Michael's or something like that in the arts and crafts store. And I needed like a tiny little piece of black, but the only stuff they had was a whole pack of sort of 5x7-inch foam. So I've got all these multiple colors that I've got this stack, and I used like a tiny little bit for a camera one time.
Oh, okay.
But I've used that in typewriters too.
Is it
Yeah.
bendable?
Pardon me?
Is it bendable?
Yeah, it's
You can shape
foam.
it?
It's pardon me?
You can shape it?
I don't know what you mean by shape. It's
Oh,
very
like-
thin. It's like 1/8 inch.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like you can have it match the curvature of the inside of the machine.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that works pretty well because it's not real thick.
Yeah.
So it like I said, it's about 1/8 inch or so. And so yeah, it bends around curves real well. The foam does. It's about as same as the felt. And I don't know how much. I don't know if it does decrease the reflections on the inside like the felt would, but it might dampen the sound on some of the panels or something like that.
Or put both.
Yeah, well, I've done that too.
Yeah, I just stuff them full because it's not like you can hurt anything. And,
Yeah.
a lot of times, especially those little Japanese machines were made to a cost, and they just, you look at an older machine or even this Hermes rocket. If I pull the covers off and look at the insulation in there, it's thick. It goes all the way to the edges of the machine. They really knew. I mean, they spent the money to actually soundproof these things, whereas like the JP1s and the Silver Seikos really didn't. So that's something that you can totally improve really easy and really cheaply. Just
So the sound comes from, the ones I have to put headphones on for the ones where the platin's real hard. So
yeah.
that's where the noise is coming from, but I think it echoes back inside the typewriter. And
There's a few things actually, like the type bar rest. If you have like a rubber tube for type bar rest, when the type bars come back, that makes kind of a clock sound. And so you got smack clock, smack clock, and it's a really busy sound. And you can fix that just by putting a piece of like a yoga mat or something softer and more pillowy, and just eliminate that sound completely. And obviously redoing the platen is a big part of quieting a machine down, but you can also, if you don't want to spend the money, if you've got a JP1 and you don't want to spend $75 to get the platen replaced, you can just sleeve it with a shrink tube. And that cuts down the noise quite a bit. Just having something soft for those tight bars to hit against.
Right. Yeah.
And that also, reduces a lot of the reflection on the inside of the platen. Like many JP1s, many later JP1s have hollow platens, like Galaxies do, where the platen has the rod going through, but there's nothing else in there. So it's kind of a metal tube. And that sound also reverberates in there, and you can stuff stuff in there to fix that.
Wow.
I didn't know that. Galaxies have hollow platens?
Yeah.
wow,
Wow.
I put snacks in there or something.
Yeah, and you can hear it when you type on a Galaxy. The platen sounds hollow.
Interesting.
Okay. That's the sound I love. I like my Galaxy.
Oh yeah.
I like them too, but they have some design features that cause them to make certain noises.
Yeah. Features.
Well, I mean, that's the way their quick disconnect platen works. Is it's a hollow tube that has things that lock into the sides, so they can just pull those out and you pull the tube out.
Okay.
But you use less metal. It's a cost cutting measure.
Yeah.
Whereas old platens may have been a solid tube with just enough hole for the platen rod to go through. A lot of the later ones from the 60s and 70s, they hollowed that out, saved the metal.
Okay.
So I like my Galaxy so much that I have been reluctant to trade it off so I could get another typewriter working. So it's just been sitting here for a long time getting used until one day, I guess, I don't know, I have to trade it for something in a box. I finally traded my Royal P, the one I was using in my other desk, for a clipper. And because I got this other Corona, which is pretty much, it's a silent, so it's like a clipper. I decided I'd get both of those going. And but it took for me, I mean, I get used to using something, I'm a creature of habit. So it's hard for me to swap something that's working, why try to fix something that's not broken?
Exactly. Yeah.
So, it's weird that the silent is a hollow tube and probably noisier than the Sterling, which didn't have the removable tube, but wasn't silent. I guess
the silent actually doesn't have a hollow tube, I don't think.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It was only the Galaxy where they did that. They hollowed it out.
Good. Thanks for clarification. I was thinking, I knew the Super and the Silent both had removable platens, or easier to remove.
Yeah, but they didn't cut out all that metal in the middle. So.
Good. Oh, well, now I've still got to find one. Okay, I don't need one now. All right. Well,
I do have to say, I have I think a 60s era Sterling, and I think a 50s era Sterling, and they're actually two of the quietest typewriters I own. I was kind of shocked at how quiet they are. Yeah, I highly recommend them.
Do a decibel measure?
I did not measure, but based on my tender ears.
Yeah, I have a couple of them that I can type on them, but there's one that obviously I've got to cover my ears. Another one which one of my ears will start feeling deaf if I don't cover it, and so it must be a weaker ear, I guess. This happens when you get old, I guess.
Yeah. I find that the sound that usually bothers me with typewriters is when you can hear all the metal bits, the different linkages and stuff. And often you hear that on the cheaper typewriters, basically. That was one of the things I didn't like about the Lettera 25. It was very jangly.
Where are those from? Are those from Italy? Where are the Letteras from?
I believe so, because it's Olivetti.
Yeah, Olivetti are from Italy, but like Lettera 25 would have probably been made in like Brazil or Mexico or.
Okay.
I don't even know if they were made in Spain.
Yeah, I don't remember it. I'm sure I looked at some point, but I don't remember. Yeah. Bill, you had your hand up?
Just when there's a chance, I have my typing prompt.
Yay, go for it. We got 3 this week.
Mike inspired me.
Nice.
When it gets hot outside, I tend to eat a lot of ice cream. When I eat a lot of ice cream, I tend to become bulbous. Were I to start a band, perhaps I would call it Bulbous Bill and the Beats. During the summer months, we would play for ice cream. Heading into the true dog days of summer, I expect that I might become belligerently bulbous as a result. I should be thankful that the Dairy Queen, located just a few blocks away from my house, closed down a few years back, but I'm not. I actually miss it, at least during this time of the year. I could see Bulbous Bill and the Beats playing a free concert in the park across the street from the Dairy Queen where it's still there. But as the DQ is no more, this won't happen. Soon the weather will cool and my ice cream fueled dreams will come to an end. My goal will then be to become a vetless bulbous this coming fall. The world will never experience Bulbous Bill and the Beats, and that's okay. Trust me on this.
Oh, excellent.
Bulbous Bill.
Bulbous Bill and the Beats.
Love it.
Oh, very good, very good.
It's definitely been ice cream eating weather here lately.
Oh yeah, yeah. I recently got these they're coffee flavored ice cream bars. I'm not sure what they really are because they have kind of a strange texture in the mouth, but they taste good. But it's odd because the serving size, it's like a bar, like an ice cream bar on a stick, and the serving size is 2 bars. It's like, really?
Yeah, so you get all those precious chemicals.
Yeah, yeah.
My wife just walked in and handed me an ice cream bar. Thank you, Bill. I was just thinking, damn, I really want some ice cream. Thanks, honey.
That's awesome.
So awesome.
It's like that time we had the trend of the fish and chips.
Oh, yeah.
Someone was talking about fish and chips, and so I think Rich may have been one of them.
Yeah, I was talking about the ones I had gotten when I was in the UK.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's what we had for lunch.
Oh yeah.
Just leftover fish and potato chips.
Well,
that's another good bulbous food.
There you go. There you go.
So good, you guys.
Unless it's
I did a
fish.
I did a typing prompt.
Oh, cool. That's 4 in 1 week. We haven't had that in I don't know how long.
Mike inspired me.
Very good. Very good.
You ready?
Yeah.
I haven't looked it over. I wrote a poem. I don't usually write poems. Right. Maybe I should finish my ice cream bar first. No, I'll just do it now because otherwise I'll lose my nerve. Okay. Out the window in the hot July sun, the pear trees groan quietly under the weight of their season's achievement. The bulbous hips of each burgeoning Bartlett show pale and patient below the sheltering handfuls of leaves. I wait, each passing week weighing the fruit in my palm as I pass by in the garden, hefting, assessing density, smoothing my thumb over the skin, attending the arc of relationship with these ancient determined trees, from pruning branches bare of foliage, through spring green and blossoms, bees doing duty in the rain, tiny pearlings emerging, growing day by day, yes, bulbous and beautiful as we go. The days ahead hold steady ripening, warm and golden as the juice someday running down my chin.
Oh, I love that. That was excellent. Yeah. And I have to say, bulbous is a good poetic word because it sounds good coming out of the mouth, bulbous, And then I think in that same line, you had the word Bartlett. So you got the repetition of the sound there. That was excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
Sounds like you have to be very observant to write that kind of stuff. You have to, because the things you were causing us to visualize were, things that you'd have to be observant to see. In the mood, anyway.
I sit here and I stare out the window at those pear trees.
Well, there's some inspiration.
And I watch the pears get bigger and bigger.
Oh.
And also, I have to say, I look at those pear trees because we moved here almost a year ago. It'll be a year in a few weeks. And one of the first things that happened was in September. So the trees were loaded and ripe with fruit and grapes and pears and apples. And one of the first things that happened was Bob Marshall came to visit. So I have this image of Bob Marshall wandering around our yard, standing under the trees and just picking pears and apples and grapes and eating them as we were chatting, and just so it's a typewriter related kind of.
Oh,
interesting backstory.
Yeah, yeah. So I see Ted bust out the ice cream, and I saw it was Tillamook brand, but is that just plain chocolate, or what is it?
That's Tillamook mudslide.
Mudslide. Ooh. Nice.
Very when you're done, you can just go outside and fill it back up.
Very good, very good. Not to make you self-conscious or anything, Ted, about eating ice.
I'm with you, Ted. Solidarity.
It's the ice cream episode.
Exactly. It's funny because when we're going grocery shopping, the wife usually likes to pick up ice cream, and so that I won't be tempted, she gets Rocky Road, because it has marshmallows and I can't eat marshmallows. So she usually grabs that one, and because otherwise, yeah, ice cream is very dangerous for me. So
yeah, me too. I'm diabetic, so I only eat either no sugar added, but even better is non-sugar.
Yeah.
So I don't get too wrapped around eating ice cream. I just kind of put it on ignore. Anything with sugar is just on ignore now. I don't miss it. So.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Oh, there's Larry. How are you, Larry? He's wearing his nice wide brim hat.
How are you doing?
Good.
I'm muted. I'm like, oh yeah, that didn't work.
Is that Coast Guard?
Yeah. I was in the Coast. I retired from the Coast Guard, and so I really like that it says Coast Guard on it. Plus, it's got kind of a heavy brim, and I can put it, keep it on when the wind, and it's dark underneath, so it shades your eyes real well. I use it driving a lot, and I don't even have to wear sunglasses when I use it usually because it shades my eyes enough. It's really nice. And then when somebody's really mean to you and they're flying by or something, they're going to flip you off or something, you just go like this. And you don't have to see it,
You get people flipping you off often, Larry?
Hey, you're pretty good at that.
Well, something you have to prepare for on a regular basis.
I know.
Probably.
What have you been up to, Larry?
Is there another side to Larry we don't know about?
I think so.
Well,
is that just when you're driving or other times too?
I don't do that myself. I don't go around, flipping people off or anything. But I do think a lot about what I see out there. I see people doing things. I'm like, oh my gosh, But I go the speed limit, and that's like the worst offense. It seems like I set my cruise control, and in the right lane, not in the left lane. But anyway, people are if you're in like a lot of places like we are, where there's single lane traffic and they got to get around you, and it's like, okay, well, you can go around me, but to me, whatever, if I mean, I know some people say, oh, it's dangerous to, in the New Jersey Turnpike to go the speed limit. Okay, well, and yeah, I've been on the Turnpike. I was on the New Jersey Turnpike with my son-in-law, and he had his dash cam on, and it was a FedEx truck, big semi tractor trailer going by me, and I was looking out the window because he's driving, and I see the FedEx guy. He's looking at his cell phone, and we're in a traffic jam, but we're in a traffic jam going like 55, 60 mile an hour in a traffic jam. And so just typical traffic there, the normal that flow when it's flowing. Well, all of a sudden, everybody's stopping, and all of a sudden you see smoke coming off of the wheels of it because he passed us. So you see smoke coming off this big truck's wheels, and he's partly jackknifing it. It looks like a wheel got off the ground. He sent me the video of it, and I'm like, wow, that guy's, he ought to lose his job over that. We didn't do anything about it. We just kept going. But anyway, so people get mad at you just because you're driving and you're in their way. So
yeah.
Anyway, it's funny.
Yeah.
And speaking of getting mad at people, I did this typewriter prompt.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And so let's see, it says like it or not, the Type Pals prompt turned out this week to be bulbous. For people like me who like to rhyme, prompts like this cast a shadow upon us. It's hard enough for me to think in the midst of a typewriter conference. I hope you're happy, whoever you are, on tonight's sleep with a clear conscience.
I like that. Excellent.
So I was doing something in the dark here. There's no way I can't think like that when there's noise. That's why I have a garage, so I can think. Now you invade my garage and it's noisy, so I got to turn the volume down and think.
I know, huh? Well, I'm glad to know that you were putting the time to good use. So, yeah.
Yes, I was.
Excellent. Yeah, because that means
I actually might keep this poem. I kind of like it.
Yeah. See, I'm telling you, bulbous is a good word.
It is. It's just a terrible word if you like to rhyme things.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to trip up a rhyming person, you try to find out what words don't rhyme with anything and give them that one,
There you go. There you go.
But anyway, that's a good, and it didn't have to go in a rhyme. I know that, but I'm not that kind of poet. I mean, this guy here, everybody knows the casual word. Now he's a poet. Everybody knows him. Langley, casual.
Langley Casual.
Well,
Never heard of him.
Well, okay. Well, you should have. He's got some books out and stuff, and he's got a T-shirt. And anyway, he's
Am I the only one that
you'll find him in. You'll find
I've
him.
never heard of him either.
ATC on Facebook, and you'll find him in
that leaves me out.
That's because we're not just
poetry
everybody.
group and the what's typer heads and stuff like that. You'll find him in all those places. And he's got his own website. He sells on Amazon and stuff too.
Okay.
Anyway, he's a real nice guy, and his poems, he doesn't worry about rhyme and stuff, but he's a cool poet. I mean, I actually respect. I have a lot of respect for the poets that can just put things down and they sound so nice, and it's like, wow, and you didn't rhyme anything. I don't get it. I mean, I like it, but I don't get how to do that.
Yeah, it's sort of the current, I don't want to call it a trend because it's been going on for some time, but modern poetry works less on the rhyming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Definitely.
think modern poetry is more like a really neat painting, I guess maybe you might say, with not a Picasso angular type thing, but a fluid painting.
Yeah. I think it's more about your word choices and the words that you pair together and the way you describe things, that sort of thing. So yeah.
And
which
it's
makes
sort of
the
fun.
best stories.
Sort of fun to do it, because clearly the rhyming you're talking about has a very clear rhythmic structure, but it's fun to make rhythmic structures that are like odd timings, but they're still there. And it may look like it's not, your typical format. It's not rigid like that, but it's more open and flows better. And it's really about the rhythm. It's like when you sing too, you have emphasis on certain syllables, on beats and stuff like that. And that's kind of the way all poetry is, kind of like it's lyrical. And if you make it that way, it makes it, to me, easier to digest it when I read that. I like Robert Frost, his stuff. It's not like you're describing with the rhyming, it's very, it's interesting because what he talks about, it almost like, to me, when I read a good poem, it hasn't told me what it's about, but it's made me know what it's about. And I don't know if that makes any sense, You know, it's sort of dances around whatever truth it's trying to convey, and it gets you there somehow by describing everything around it, maybe. And I know I'm talking kind of weird, but that's kind of the way I look at some of the.
I'm with you, Rich. I'm with
thank
you. I'm following you. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of the way I look at, you know, how I kind of judge what I like with the poetry. One of the weirdest things that you talk about rhyming is, some of you may have already read Dante's Inferno. I had to read that when I was in school, and this is about what 40 years ago, but I read it in English, which I realized that it was written in Italian, and the really odd thing to me that still boggles my mind is that it's a really great story the way he portrays it, and it still rhymes. Even when translated from the language it was written in, they still manage to translate it and keep the integrity of a really, really cool verse. And that's well, it's more than a verse. It's a But that I thought is one of the most mind-boggling things I've kind of seen in terms of poetry. But
definitely,
yeah, it's good. It's good to get out, get out, see it. And in fact, oh man, I usually keep it right here. I'll find it. I've got this thing by Robert Frost that I like so much. I wrote it down and have kept it here, but it looks like it fell. But I'll find it before we get off. And who knows where it went?
Yeah.
He's pretty cool.
I do enjoy Robert Frost, definitely. Definitely.
I have a hard time playing music unless it's metered the way I'm used to, you know, the way I like rock and roll and country, because I'm not a very sophisticated musician, you know, where, you know, the classical, like I can't remember all that stuff, and the Indian music I don't understand. Even jazz gives me a hard time. I love some jazz music to hear it still, but it's very difficult. The rhythms are very difficult to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess when you start playing it, I just joined a jazz combo band a little while back, and I enjoy singing more than trying to play the guitar with it, because the chord shapes are not your traditional rock or country kind of chord shapes, you know, just the open chords and then the other ones that you're used to using. But it adds, you know, like ninths, and you use sevenths a lot, but ninths and 13ths, and you're just like twisting your hand, and it takes it's like relearning how to play, because you have to move from shape to shape and then hit it right. So
and muting strings, you mute strings a lot.
Oh yeah, well I do that with rock anyway, because, you know, I'll play double stops, and I mean, I'm very, very controlled about how because I play lead, so I can't you know, hit the whole thing. I have to hit notes and whatever. So you got to keep the other ones quiet. That was a transition for me when I started playing lead, is figuring out how to keep. You just want the sounds you want. You don't want anything else, and you want them when you want them, and you want them to last as long as they have to last. And and then add bending on top of that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Kind of intricate, but it's so much fun. And probably because it's so rewarding when you figure it out, you know.
Yeah, I'd love to play lead, and I don't have anybody that I know that plays lead either. So I wish I did. I mean, I play with people and I love playing with them, but we really could use a lead guitar. Where do you could drive over here every week?
Well, we could do it. We could do it by electrons. But I find I'm much more comfortable playing lead than rhythm. First, it requires more creativity, so it's just simply more fun. But the other thing is I can join a band or a song that the band's playing and not even need to know what key it's in. I'll find it, you know, and then once I find the key, which usually isn't too hard, then you can play the scale. And had an instructor that once told me, he says, as long as you don't play off key, you're okay. So once you find the key, it's good, you know. And with the guitar, Larry, that that scale pattern is the same for any key. And no matter what key you use, it's the same pattern. So all you have to do is learn. I mean, the major is always the major. The minor is not much different. And once you learn that, it works anywhere on the fretboard. And once you start thinking like that, it like everything changes. Your whole world will change.
And you can't really do very good solo. I mean, I didn't mean solo. Yeah, I guess I kind of mean it. So where you do, like, let's say you do verse, chorus, and then you have somebody do a solo. Well, you can't just strum a solo chord. You got to have somebody playing all the notes or melody or something.
Well, you can do both. It's not as full of sound, but you can do both.
Right, but we need we need a piano or a lead, somebody to do all those notes to make it sound good, especially if you're only using a few chords.
Certainly helps. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah,
we're typing.
But it's like learning to touch type. So like when you learn the scales, you know, it's the same thing as learning the home row and on the typewriter. And I guess it translates to piano too. You know, you get the movements down, and if you're trying to think about the movements, that's kind of when you go off. You know, you'll mess up the time or something like that because you'll be thinking instead of doing. You just have to. Your hands need to be smart enough to play on the scales.
In 10th grade, I took typing for the first 9 weeks, and I dropped the class because I was just getting F's in it, and I'm just like, I guess, obsessive compulsive or whatever, but I had to not make any mistakes. Like I didn't make any mistakes on this. I feel like I gotta like slow down, and the teacher's like, you're never gonna be fast if you you can't look at what you're doing. You have to look away. And I just was so sure of myself, I should say, and know I was right, which I know I wasn't now, but math, I felt that way about math too. I knew I was right. I didn't need math, and boy, was that stupid. But anyway, I'm not saying I don't shoot myself in the foot sometimes, but I got an F, and I went and dropped my class. I went to my counselor and dropped my class, and I said, I talked to the teacher first, and I said, I don't think I can do this. She said, I don't think you can do it either. And I think really what it was is she was just sick of me. And it was like, you know, I'm not trying to get rid of this kid. So anyway, I went home and talked to mom, and my mom said, you know, the thing is I see you play the guitar, and I'm thinking, you know, if you can play the guitar, you can type on a typewriter, you know, and I always, but what she didn't realize about the guitar, because she didn't play the guitar, is that if you're just playing chords, that's not like typing. But if you're playing lead, that is like typing.
Yeah, just have to know you're trusting your fingers to go where they're supposed to go.
Yeah.
There's even like when I think it's also similar because your mind, when you're typing, if you know the word, especially just take a simple one, the word the, you don't even really have to think how to type the, THE, all the time, you know. And there's other words that you use, AND for and, you know, IT. Pretty soon it gets to be a lot of words, you're doing it mechanically. You're thinking the word in your fingers have already put it on there. And that's the same with the guitar too. When you learn the scales, is I know what note I want in my head, and my fingers know where to find it. I mean, there's just this weird connection. But if you try and look at it and study it, you can't. You'll lose your timing. And so you have to get to the point where like with the typewriter, you just trust it.
And I'll even type the THE too fast and end up with TEH. Because
yeah, I've done that too.
Because sometimes but if you do that on the guitar, you're gonna hear it.
So
you got to, but that's a lot of practice to be able to. Well, and some people just are better at it than others too. Their brain lands on it quicker.
So if you type or if you play a wrong note meekly, it'll sound like a mistake. But if you type a wrong note with the right amount of energy, it'll sound like you intended to do it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, you stay in the rhythm pattern at least.
Yeah.
I found this thing. It was right where I thought it was. It was just buried back there. But can I read this? It's just a little thing about a Robert Frost thing.
Yeah, it should be okay.
It's called Into My Own, and it goes like this. One of my wishes is that those dark trees, so old and firm they scarcely show the breeze, were not, as 'twere, the merest mask of gloom, but stretched away into the edge of doom. I should not be withheld, but that same day, into their vastness I should steal away, fearless of ever finding open land, or highway where the slow wheel pours the sand. I do not see why I should ever turn back, or those should not set forth upon my track to overtake me, who should miss me here, and long to know if still I held them dear. They would not find me changed from him they knew, only more sure of all I thought was true. That was the Robert Frost thing, and he's got lots of things. It took me like a couple of readings to figure out, dense as I am, because when I first, sometimes it's like this when I'm watching TV or a movie or something. I'll get so distracted by what I'm seeing, I lose focus on what's going on. I don't know if that makes sense. And sometimes, like when I read this, the first couple of times I read it, it's like I was just trying to get the imagery in my head of what he's talking about, and I didn't quite grasp completely what the thing was about until you read it again. And it's brilliant. And he's got a few things like that that are just it's remarkable, interesting tangent to explore if you're interested.
Speaking of tangents, Rich, you just did what I did in choir this morning when we were practicing before church. And one of my choir members said to me, because I mentioned, or I kind of put myself down, like kind of jokingly, like, oh, I messed that up type thing. But I mean, I guess I was more rough on myself than that. And they pointed out that, when you do that, it's like, I feel like we're doing a great job. And when you just put it out there like that, it's kind of a negative thing to put out there, and you should put a positive thing out there. And you said, as dense as I am, and my first thought was, wait a minute, you're smarter than me, so where's that put me? So that person was right. And it does affect other people, whether you realize it or not. And when you did that, I'm like, wow. And I do that all the time. Don't get me wrong. I'm not just picking on you. I've done that on this meeting before. I on purpose put myself down. I think it's funny, but it's probably not a great thing to do.
What if I said as dense as I can be instead of am? I see your point. That's an interesting way to look at it.
I don't know how to, I'm not trying to.
But I don't think I'm smarter than you. So that we'll have to.
Larry, you got to learn to love yourself, buddy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought I did, but now people are telling me you don't apparently. And I'm like, well, maybe you're right. Maybe I'm doing something,
Pick yourself out for some ice cream.
I guess there's a matter of you got to say, it doesn't, you're not trying to compare yourself to others, but I did that. So that's my fault that I did that. I compared myself to you, and that's my fault. It wasn't your fault, but I'm starting to see a different picture now when they pointed that out.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. See, you are smarter than me.
There we go.
Now that I understand that we're even again.
Yeah, really everybody's even, because it's not like everybody's trying to be like we're not trying to fail. Nobody's trying to fail. Even people that have a hard time in life aren't trying to fail. You might look at them and say, boy, you must be trying to fail, because how could you do that over and over? But I think people they get stuck in some kind of whatever it is they're in, and it's hard for people to figure it out. It's hard for me to change all at once, but when I saw you do that, I'm like, wow, that's just what happened to me this morning.
Yeah, everybody thinks differently. That's what's interesting. Mm-hmm. You've done ever like the Myers-Briggs or anything like that? There's
I did that.
Those are pretty insightful into, if not specifically, reminding you how differently people think.
Yeah,
I'm an INFP, and then when I did that, there was a pie chart, and like most people have like some part of the pie, and I was like everything was like on this side of, there was this like, it's like you're really focused this way, and all the other places you're like, whatever, I don't want to say you're an idiot, but but I see, there's my having a laughing about that. But it was weird. It's like, wow. This explains a lot to me, because it's like, I felt like that, I felt different, but I guess people tell me everybody feels different. And then, I guess why wouldn't we? We're different.
Yeah.
Different.
But it's like when you don't get it, you question a lot of things,
Yeah.
I feel like your hat was a casualty of that story.
Oh, that's the great thing about these days. You don't like over worry about like a ball cap looks out of shape real quick. You try to get a certain shape with it. This thing's just kind of floppy. So
it has no shape to begin with.
Yeah.
You could be asleep right now.
If the wind's too rough, it's a pain if the wind's too rough. But if it's just a little wind, it's better than, I got another hat that's a lot floppier. This is double layers here.
Oh, okay.
So when you're speed typing, does the hat start flapping up?
Oh yeah, yes.
Got that wind going?
And no mistakes, yes.
Oh man, it's like that. What was it? Maxell or Memorex that had the ad where the guy was getting blown back by the speakers?
Oh yeah,
Maxell.
Yeah.
That's right.
The speaker.
Yeah, so they can have that for typewriters.
Back to the Future too, when the guy hit the chord on Back to the Future.
Oh yeah. Yep.
That's interesting, Gregory. How would you do that for a typewriter?
That's why the vents are on the SG1 to make you type faster.
There you go.
Gregory, I actually photoshopped a few years back. I had a little a Fender tube amp, a guitar amp, and had it restored and gave it to my brother for all the time he spent taking care of our mom. And I sent it to him without telling him about it, just as a surprise. And then later I photoshopped a little image for him with the guy from that Maxell ad, but instead of the speaker, I had the little Vibrachamp amp with, blowing him away as he sat in the chair. My brother enjoyed that.
Yeah, excellent.
That ad was a classic.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, just put a typewriter there, and you're blown away by your typewriter. Typing so fast.
In a chair.
I'm wondering where Dan is. Dan is out there, and I did see. I think it's an Olympia Traveler Deluxe in orange with white trim.
That's right. And I'm at a park here. Let me flip you around so you can see this lovely typing location. We're on the New River here in Fort Lauderdale. I've got a couple of days left before I head back to the UK, and I thought I would spend some typing time with my eldest niece, Emma.
Hi.
Oh.
She's typing some short story on her. I fixed up last year. I fixed up. It's actually an Olivetti mechanism, but an Underwood model. And it was missing its badge, and I found it really cheap but in good condition, and so I printed a new badge for them, for the kids, for my nieces and nephew. So I called it an Olivetti Rubin, so it's their own personal typewriter. They love that. So she's typing short stories on that.
Excellent.
Say hi, Emma.
Hi.
And I am typing some letters on my Olympia Traveler, the orange one, which is lovely. And
machine.
It's such a nice machine. I've traveled a lot with this over the last few months, but this is one of the machines that just stays in the US for now. Yeah. So we just thought we're mostly writing. We just thought we'd pop in at the end once we got sat down, so then Emma could hear some of the chat here. And
nice.
Hello to some other fans.
Yeah.
So
I
hope
have
everyone's
to
doing
paint mine one day orange because I don't seem to find an orange one, a QWERTY orange one that I want. I've looked over the years and I keep finding the white ones.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the most common. I finally managed to get all of what I believe are the standard colors. I have a blue one, a green one, the orange one, and then the first typewriter I actually ever got back in 2018 was the standard gray and light gray one.
Yeah.
But what I ended up having to do on the green one, I could not find a green one in QWERTY to save my life for as long as I've been searching for one, and I found one really cheap in the UK, but it was in Germany, but like really cheap shipping from Germany as a quartz one. But I know the mechanisms are identical on the inside, so I'm going to swap all of the green parts for the identical model of a standard gray one that I found also really cheap. Aside from my time, I think it'll be about 30 euros total between the two of them.
Oh wow!
And I thought, you know what, I'm okay with this. Someone will want a plain gray quartz machine at some point.
Yeah.
And I'll have the green one. But the orange one was just a lucky find in Miami on Facebook Marketplace last year, and it's my favorite color, as my niece reminded me. It's also fun. Here, I think I've shown this before, but just in case anyone hadn't seen it, because it's neat. It's got this.
Oh yeah.
I know I'm sure I've shown this before, but this really interesting currency character of a C surrounding what looks like a dollar sign. And still the closest I've been able to come to anyone telling me what it is that it's some South or Central American currency. It's just a mark that's not used anymore. But it matches up with the keyboard having an NA and this dead key here for a couple of accents. So it was owned by, it was a custom ordered keyboard for sure, because I bought it from the daughter of the original owner, who was a translator apparently for he would translate films and stories and other things for some of the major airlines, like from English into Spanish and other related languages. So it's nice to know the story of a machine. I've been lucky enough to get a couple of machines from first owners, and so they come with the story of what they did and how long how many years they owned it, what they used it for.
Yeah.
Does that have a cents mark on it, or a key for cents?
This one doesn't, but
maybe they use that for cents. Put a C over a dollar sign.
No, it's again, I was able to find examples or references to it after a bit of searching online, and there are just a couple of currencies that apparently don't exist anymore that were either Central or South American that used that as their currency symbol, but so this would have been used primarily during the 70s, and it would have but their currencies that have kind of disappeared or folded into something else since. So it's a bit of an anachronism in a way.
Yeah.
You know what currency that was?
Sorry?
What currency was that?
I can't remember off the top of my head now. I'll look it up again. I found this last November, so but when I did the research, it was back then, and I didn't write it down because it wasn't the definitive thing. It was basically the closest I could get was that it was probably one of about 3 different currencies that just the mark doesn't exist anymore, and it wasn't a mark that was ever marked on the currency. So it was like a shorthand that must have been just a really common shorthand, common enough that he would have ordered a completely custom key.
Well, that's why the currency went bad, because they had a font that nobody recognized.
If I can find out anything more definitive, I will let you know. But it's similar to a problem I've been trying to, or not a problem, a question I've been trying to answer from my Hermes ambassador that's in the UK, which has it has a very strange fraction key on it. I think it's a 7/8 and no, sorry, not 7/8. It's like, what is it? 2/7 and 3/7. I think it's a really odd. It's like a fraction combination that just makes absolutely zero sense. And you can tell that it was a customized key because it's the ink on the top of the or the impression on the top of the key itself is slightly different. but it looks like it was the soldering job looks like it's straight from the factory, but it would have been like a specific custom set of 2 fractions on one key. And everyone I've asked, including people from 2 generations back in things like accountancy and manufacturing and everything else in the UK, like they're like, nope, makes no sense to me.
Weird.
So it's curious to find those kind of things that were really useful to someone, obviously, but that have completely fallen away from any kind of common use.
Yeah.
Argentina had really bad inflation in the 70s. I mean, like, I remember reading it was like 1,700% at one point. I don't know if it got higher or how much higher, but that was like late 70s. It was incredible. And I'm wondering if that currency, if they folded that currency and started something else. I don't know what they did to recover. I wasn't tracking it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'll see if I can dig up what I found, but I mean, because it wasn't definitive, I didn't kind of write down what it was to store with the typewriter. Otherwise, I would. That's what I tend to do. I think the closest I was also asking some of my friends who are professional typeface designers who tend to be geeks for any kind of special character, and none of them had seen this particular character before. So that's the other thing, is that it definitely was something that didn't make it past maybe the 70s or the early 80s. So it didn't get into the period of digital typesetting, and it maybe was so infrequently used. And my guess is, again, shorthand, which is what I found some references to, that it wasn't actually the official symbol, but it was something that might have been written kind of like as 2 separate characters normally, like a C and then the $sign for some reason. That was what I started to find, was that there were some currencies that would be written as a capital C and then the $. And so that this looks like it's just a combination to save time. If you were having to type it a lot, it should make it one key, but it might not have even been an official thing unless you were writing it by hand. And so, or maybe not
by serial number. Can you tell by serial number where it was located? I guess, of course, you could buy it from any country. Well, it was manufactured. I would imagine those symbols would be whatever country it was used in. They would have bought it there, maybe. Well, I don't know.
It was the owner lived and worked based out of Miami, but worked as a translator again for very Central and South American languages, translating for a couple of big airlines like Eastern Airlines, like old airlines, Eastern and Pan Am, who are also based out of Miami, I think. And but it was manufactured in Czechoslovakia, which is where Yugoslavia, I think. Hang on. Yes, Yugoslavia, sorry. Where a lot of the travelers were manufactured. So it was just a factory order. You'd place the order at whatever the distributor was in Miami. They send the order in. However much longer later, you receive your typewriter with a custom key.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Anyway, nothing other than that. Nothing new from last week. Other than I've done a very thorough job cleaning up those 4 typewriters that I mentioned that I picked up before. 2 of them are going to be delivered to the friends who helped film that little short film, but they're all in good condition. I learned a few new things about getting rid of certain types of corrosion, and I mean rust I'm good at. Corrosion was a new one, but yeah, nothing new otherwise. Just excited to get back to the UK, and I've got a lot of travel coming up, but I'll be checking in at various points on Sundays when I've got I'll be in the evenings again.
Yeah.
With your fish and chips.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll have fish and chips at least once.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, it's wonderful seeing that orange and white typewriter out in the nice, beautiful surroundings there. And oh man, I want one of those.
And it's nice typing. We're in a park, and there are other people here, but it's not too loud.
Yeah.
There's enough background noise. There are people coming by on their boats, so there's actually a lot of white noise around and a good breeze. We already had a couple of people stop by and chat with us for a few minutes about the machines. 2 older ladies who appreciated it and knew what we were doing. So,
is it more humid there than
England? Oh God, yes.
Oh wow.
I've never been to England. Yeah.
we're lucky in Florida if it's like gets down to 60% humidity.
Wow.
So right now it's going to be between 70 and 80% today.
My goodness.
Which and we're slightly in the shade, slightly. Now I'm in the shade. But it's not bad. There's a breeze. Anytime you can get a breeze, it's comfortable. But no, the UK is it's a lot drier right now compared to here, and a good deal cooler, but still sunny. So that's more my temperature. Give me about 10 degrees Fahrenheit cooler, or maybe 5, 6, 7 degrees Celsius cooler than Florida, and I'm really happy. I'm shorts and t-shirt weather. 26 degrees Celsius. I'm thrilled.
Yeah.
But and these two, the last thing I'll say is the two letters that are going out are both to Type Pals folks who wrote to me. They're both responses. So it's kind of fun to have that. So that's just, I guess, a thank you to having Type Pals and having it exist.
Oh,
maybe you could put those special characters in somewhere in the letter just to mess with them.
I know, right?
My niece says I put them on a t-shirt. So
there you go.
Walk around with special characters for no reason.
You could turn it into your logo or something.
I know, I might. This is it types it actually that particular character, the $ with the C, types completely differently than the print on the key top.
Okay.
So. Does that character, the one with the C over the $, does that do different things when you shift it?
No, it's a shifted character. It's above the 3.
Okay.
Oh,
it would have replaced the pound hash sign.
Ah, okay.
And then the dead key. Probably the reason there isn't a sense sign is between the Enye character specifically for the N with the little tilde over it, and then the dead key that has the umlaut and the little, I forget which accent the right facing short line is, but so there are kind of 2 extra fully lost keys between those, and I guess it just means he didn't need cents or some fraction. There is 1/2 and 1/4 on here, but yeah. Again, always nice. I'd love to start seeing more people talk about their custom keyboard layouts. I'm always fascinated when I see them, because it tells them more of a story about the owner of that typewriter, whoever ordered it, what they used it for, and why.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely.
I think your temperature is probably like ours. Larry was asking. Here in Orlando right now it's 95, but the index is 104. And this is a pretty typical day in Central Florida in the summers. So it's not hot unusually. It might cool down a little when we get lots of storms here. And it says 47% on the humidity right now. So it must be hot where you're sitting, Dan. You're closer to the water.
Yeah, it's the breeze here keeps it manageable. Like there's just really nice breeze coming in. So I have to load some new paper in my niece's typewriter now. So we're gonna get back to it.
Okay.
Lovely to see everyone.
Yeah, thank you so much, and nice meeting you. Hi.
Right. See you all next week.
All right, thank you, Dan. All right, Sam, are you there? Did we lose you, Sam? Well, I think she may have left, and I think Ted snuck off too. So let's see. Were there any more typing prompts or questions or comments, anything like that? I am curious what Brenda's typing. No. She's like, no, I'm good.
I am just some of these typewriters I've gotten and I've never really even tested what they do. You know, I've never put the ribbons in. I clean them and then I get another one and then I just keep doing that. So I'm just messing around, typing on them
Okay.
and seeing if they work, and that's it. Nothing good.
Okay.
Can you type
But
all?
that is good.
Can you
It's
type?
good. It is good. Huh?
Can you type poems while people are talking? Just one.
No, probably not. Probably not.
I had a doctor one time. I was talking to him, and he was typing away on a computer, and I mean fast too. And I was talking to the doctor, and I said, "Are you typing stuff I'm saying to you?" And he goes, "Well, yeah, and also like other stuff that I'm, but it all had to do with me." And I said, "How do you?" Because he could talk to me and ask me questions while he was typing. I'm like, "How do you do that?" And he goes, "Practice."
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Yeah,
Brenda, what kind of typewriter are you using? It's a neat color.
oh, the Safari.
Oh,
Yep, this is my new one.
That's
I love
neat.
it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I actually like that color too.
It is a good color. You know, I saw it on eBay. Someone sell. Oh, so I guess because I clicked on the typewriter, the person was selling it for $300. Okay, and they went ahead and private messaged me. We'll let you have it for 200. Are you crazy?
Wow.
I just paid $44 for this one. Why would I spend? I mean, it's just ridiculous. These people think that they can just put all these ridiculous prices on typewriters. It's like, who's going to buy that? No one.
They start too high. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And why are you listing it for 300 if you're going to sell it to me for 200?
Yeah.
Terrible. People are
Trying to make a
terrible.
buck.
Terrible.
Yep, it sure is. Excellent. Oh, there's Sam. How are you, Sam?
COVID-free, finally, as of today's test.
Very good. That's good news.
That just made me think, Brenda, how who was the who was that guy?
Yeah, last week.
The guy with the no, it wasn't Jimmy Durante. There's somebody said there's a sucker born every minute.
W.C. Fields.
W.C. Fields, that's right. He said that, and I was just thinking about that, and I thought, and also you could add to that, and we're all suckers, because when it gets right down to it, we all pay whatever it is that we feel like we need to pay, and somebody's making out and somebody isn't. So, but I guess that's kind of the way it works. It's like, well, but I get what you're saying. I was like, really? They came down $100? Come on, but
Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent.
Sorry, Sam. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Last week, after all the talk of the Empire Aristocrat, it was about 11:30 at night, and I'm just awake. I'm like, all right, I'm going to make sure I've got the ribbon on there right, and I did. Gosh, it's kind of gummy. Let's see. I've got my 3-in-1. So for like an hour and a half, I'm futzing around with it, cleaning it up as best I can, not pulling it apart, but just cleaning. And when I was reading something about cleaning the typefaces, and they're like, oh, don't ever use this, don't ever that. What we find the best thing is a sharpened matchstick to get in between the little letter corners and stuff like that. I thought, well, that's interesting. So yeah, I went through it. I haven't typed anything on it. I haven't typed anything all week long. I just typed to warm it up a little bit and fixed a couple of keys that were sticking. But I wasn't going to get into a whole big thing of it. So, and I thought that I'd be holding up a folding 3-bank Corona, but after the other week, everyone's showing their Coronas. And I just happened to look, and here's a guy who's selling one for $100 in Delaware, and he'll ship it. And so we went back and forth and back and forth. And then he says, there's a bit of a problem. Okay. One of the keys was missing its slug, the type where the letters are. He goes, I can't find it anywhere. I'm like, no, okay. And then I realized that there's no spools to go with it.
Oh.
So, he's selling it for $100, he's shipping it for 20, and he's more than happy to do all the stuff. I sent him all the information about it and checked around to see if there's no box. How should you ship a folding typewriter? Should it be folded? Should it be open? Gave him all the information. And then, oh, geez, all right, well, let's see. If I got to get that, that could be another $40 right there. And the spools, who knows, $40, $60. Now that typewriter is getting close to $200. And, Anthony owes me credit at Typespace. I could just get one from him and not have to pay anymore. And it would probably be in better shape. So he's like, well, I'm fine if you want to back out. So he refunded my money and everything. So that was cool. But I was like all excited. I thought I was going to have one to show to everybody. See, I got one too. But nope, that didn't work. So that's all right. I probably didn't need it anyway.
Made a good story though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You want to hear a more fun story from market yesterday? Nothing typewriter related at all.
Sure, go for it.
It's the end of the day. I'm at, if you've never looked up Portland Saturday Market before, in Portland, it's the longest running continual outdoor weekend market in the country. And it's a juried market. Everything has to be pretty much highly percentagely made by hand. And somebody goes, well, what about t-shirts? Well, they're not selling you the t-shirt. They're selling you their original design on the t-shirt. So it's a pretty busy day. I didn't go last week. It's 100 degrees. I shifted spaces. I have a permanent space, but so many people didn't show up. So we're busy all day doing henna. So in the last hour, there's all this yelling going on about 50 feet from me. And everyone's, we were kind of on the corner. Everyone's like, what's going on over there? There's a dude with a machete in one hand and a hatchet in the other. And he's yelling at everybody. And I guess my final clients in the last half an hour who all wanted, $30 pieces of henna. I'm like, I'm not going to turn them down because it was like $85 in my last half an hour. Always welcome. And suddenly the cops are showing up and all kinds of stuff. And he's still yelling and everybody's going over there to see what's going on. And one of our guys taking videos. And she said she had seen him. She had gone to the porta potties, and as she came out, this guy said something like, devil's telling me to do something bad and I'm going to do it. So she comes back and she told me about that. And then she's like, that's the guy. The standoff went for like an hour. They've got like 20 cops. They've tased him twice. No effect. They shot some rubber bullets. Everybody who was in that side of the market, they're like, everybody go to the south. I'm like, well, I'm south of the bridge. I'm just going to keep calm and henna on. And they're like, I want my henna. So we just keep working or watching and listening. And they're yelling, get out of there. Everybody get out. And everyone's like moving over. I finished just in time. And then the guy dashes and like 20 cops go running after him. And then he jumps in the Willamette River. He ditched his backpack and he jumps. All these cops. And nobody stopped him. They didn't do a decent perimeter. So he's in the river and here comes some guy on a jet ski like, oh, you need some help. And they're like, don't pick him up. Don't pick him up. So it was an exciting way to end a very good market day. But just, Portland's got a lot of stuff going on. You want to say.
I guess he was a white guy, huh?
No, he was a man of color. Who was probably on meth or something like that. He was methed out or, on some drugs because they tased him. And
he got away?
Sorry?
He got away?
No, they got him in the water finally.
Oh.
Yeah, but it was very exciting. Even though I couldn't watch, I got to listen to it. And then one of our guys actually filmed the whole thing. So we got to all look at it this morning. But we hate that stuff down by Portland Saturday Market because it looks bad. When we came back 2 years ago, I wasn't allowed to work because of COVID. So I wasn't allowed to, be that close to anybody. And a lot of market people said, we're not coming down. So your usual 250 artists were like 50 total. And the market lost a lot of money, obviously something to the tune of $450,000 because the people weren't showing up. So now we're only open 1 day a week. And our vendors are like, well, I need a second day. So everyone's spreading out. But it's downtown Portland. And, people are like, that's where the people were, let's all talk about Antifa and the white boys and all that stuff and what a shithole Portland is. And it's actually not true. But sometimes, things like that could happen anywhere.
That's true. Wow.
So that was exciting.
I have to say, I would be gone so fast.
I would have too.
It's just, I mean, I just kept doing henna because I'm like, no, I need the money. I'm not going to stop until they make me stop.
That's another day.
Wow.
I mean, every henna I do is, another $30 towards another typewriter.
That's true.
Seriously.
You have your priorities straight.
I do. The other exciting thing was that I got 2 letters this week. 3.
Oh, nice.
3. Very
Nice.
exciting. I know at least one came from Type Pals. Another one about 3 weeks ago said that I read your thing on Type Pals and I have to write you. May I write you? Like, sure. Although I changed my address, some of them are still going to my old address, but they're getting to me, and it's just like end of the day. I get into bed. I get my little letter opener. I slowly open. It's like a beautiful dessert in front of you, and you're just gonna look at it and appreciate it and check all the all the cool stamps and stuff like that, and slowly open it, read through it, and then go back and start all over again and note things like the typeface. And so I'm like 7 people behind, but my schedule finally opens this week.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling better. So.
And then you find it says, we have been trying to reach you about your auto insurance.
Oh yeah, and then my 41-year-old Volvo wagon, right? That always makes me laugh.
Dramatic moment.
And I'm hoping to get out sometime I'm actually got a lot of events coming up, but hoping to get out and do some camping or do something. But it's was 103 degrees the other day here. It's going to cool down where the owner, my roommate who owns the house, he just pulled back in where it was 107 degrees where he was working in Midwestern Washington state. So we're going through the heat wave here, which comes by every once in a while. And then it's pretty nice the rest of the time.
Excellent.
But it's hot up in my attic.
Oh yeah, it would be.
That's all right. I was able to hang out downstairs and watch some more movies.
Yeah.
But that's it, pretty much. See
All right.
everybody else is hanging out. I love the hat, Larry.
Yeah.
You're just sitting all chill over there.
He actually has his eyes closed.
We could have a hat day where everyone wore a hat.
I know, huh? I
Doing day.
I know sometimes I see multiple people wearing hats, and I don't have one of those kind of typewriter hats, but my eyes have been itchy today from allergies, and the lights are bugging me, and so this helps.
There you go.
I love my lighting in my garage, and I could turn some of it off, but I have to see too. It's not.
Yeah. What's a typewriting hat? Is that a particular hat or?
Well, it's kind of like an editor for a newspaper or something from the 30s or 20s, maybe. I don't know. Tell me, or 1800s. No, I think those were back in 1800s. They might have been back. Yeah. Oh,
there you go.
There's one.
That's
right
the one
there.
on my website, pictures and stuff. That's my poetry hat.
Nice.
I don't know what's the official name for that hat you have, Gregory. That it's got the bill on. I don't know.
Newsboys cap.
Funny. Shape.
Yeah, or actually, I think a newsboy is slightly different. It's a little more puffy. It's just called a flat cap.
Oh yeah, the Newsboys one look like they have that little doughy like.
Yeah. Yeah, the flat caps are my hat of choice. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I've been looking for a top hat along the line of what the women in wear.
Yeah.
Just watch Bridgerton, and Lady Danbury has this hat that I just slaver over. And I've been looking online, and I haven't been able to find anything. And then I just reconnected with a friend who I have not seen in years. She's Corona hats, and I looked on her Etsy, and I'm like, all right, we have to shell out about $250 for a hat. But when I go out to the street to type, when it gets a little cooler again, I want to be wearing like a cool hat and a sort of semi-sexy, corsety looking thing, to attract people who are like, yeah, sure, I'd love a poem. So we'll
Excellent.
see. I'm hoping it'll get me through the winter.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. Well, I'm so glad you're feeling better.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I felt fine. It's just my roommate, he's going in for surgery, and I was required to wear a mask around the house all last week. Oh, my party hat. I couldn't, it was just so hot to breathe in because it's already been in the 90s and hundreds for about a week.
Wow.
And the only time I could take it off was upstairs.
Yeah.
And so he was just asking me, have you tested? You have me testing every day. I'm like, there's no point in that. Let me give a couple of days. So I tested this morning when they were coming back from Washington State. And happy to say I'm COVID free again for the first time, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
Very good, very good.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Well, I think if there's no comments or questions, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap up here. Yeah, but it's been another fun week, and we have our Typewriter Club Live next Sunday as well, and then the weeks after that for the month of August are going to be the new Hang In with the Poor Typist. So it'll be very, very laid back.
Hang in with the poor typist. Is that what you said?
Hang in with the poor typist. Yeah.
Poor as in they type poorly, or they are starving typists?
Well, more so because I never took typing class, and so yeah, I type like this. I'm actually, given that I type like this, I'm actually a good typist, but yeah. And in the beginning, I had my budget was very low, but of course I kind of blew that out of the water.
You'd be surprised how fast you have to build up the strength in your little fingers. I find those always to be the ones that get in the way.
Yeah.
Then you'll have ASDFJKL semicolon in your brain forever.
I know, right?
For everybody who did you take secretarial class too, Diane? Did you have to learn to type in school?
Well, I took a typing class in high school, yeah. And
Just-
we would sit there and practice, and I think it was on a Selectric. but yeah, it's like yeah. And if Gregory, if you have any of those typing books, there you go.
I do have one actually.
There's your practice.
Yeah, but
he didn't say he was looking for instruction though.
Yeah. I am actually pretty happy typing like this. Because
when you
then I can call myself the fastest chicken pecker in the West.
Think of the new brain neurons that you will suddenly acquire by using different fingers. It's much more than becoming a better typist. It will change your brain. And next thing you know, you'll be like going, now I'm going to play piano or something like that. What other challenge can I take on?
Yeah.
So Gregory, what is you're saying hanging with the poor typist is different than Type House? So what is
so
that?
actually, the first Sunday of the month is going to be Typewriter Club Live. This is our official meeting. There's at least somewhat of a format to it. But there's some pressure involved. I'm like controlling various things on the back end here, and there's fancy graphics and scrolling text and all that. Whereas hanging with the poor typist is literally just going to be hanging out. It's still going to be on Zoom and on YouTube. So we're still going to get that streaming experience and the YouTube audience. But I'm not even going to call it a meeting because there's going to be like no format. We're literally just going to hang out and type and chat and yeah. So
will there be ice cream?
Of course.
And firemen?
What's that?
There's always I'm working the Laurelhurst party on Tuesday, and there's ice cream and firemen, always the firemen.
Oh,
You wear your fireman hat. National night out.
So Gregory, is that then the first Sunday is the only Type House meeting, and then the other Sundays are the hanging out?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean,
you wear your hat on the other Sundays?
Sure.
Okay. So we can tell the difference. I mean,
yeah. The login information and everything is gonna be the same, so you might not even notice a difference other than the fact that I'm probably not going to call on you. So if you want to talk, you most likely you'll have to speak up. But
Okay.
I'll say hi to people, obviously, but I'm not going to say, did you do a typing prompt this week?
So it's less work for you.
Yeah.
And the rest of us will just goof around like we usually do.
Delegate.
Exactly.
That's nice. Okay. Is the Saturday night thing still happening? I have been really out of it for a while. So
Yeah.
okay.
Well, technically it's 24/7, but I think they do.
Oh, right.
Around that time though. So I guess it's been working. So.
Yeah, it's still going.
Excellent.
Or like a Sunday morning thing.
Yes.
Now you mentioned that the poor typist thing, Sam, and then I'm thinking, okay, that's Gregory, and I remember there was a poor Richards, I think was the idiot's man for the PW, and then I was thinking there were a few idiots manuals, and then they came out with for dummies, and I thought nobody's done a typewriters for dummies, and just one of these broadcasts here would be the Typewriters for Dummies manual. I mean,
there you go.
We could make one up, but somebody that's wants to do that needs to. I mean, it's probably owned by some corporation for dummies or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But still, you make money off of it. Imagine a little bit, and somebody needs to do that. One of us. When I say us, one of you guys, somebody, Richard Pold, I wonder if he'd be interested in it. I mean,
I was gonna say between Richard and Ted and yeah.
They got all the material and could do an extensive dummies manual, or they could do just a silly one or whatever. But they have everything you need to write one.
There you go.
Will there be a paragraph about definitely do not buy the yellow Safari for $300? And when somebody on eBay offers you an offer, don't do it.
Yeah.
Case study.
Yeah, there'd be a whole chapter just on eBay, buying
and Goodwill, shop Goodwill and offer up and all those.
Yeah, or you can share your first chapter with us next week.
Yeah, we expect it from you.
See your brain going.
I just like coming up with ideas. I don't like doing them. That's always hard.
What rhymes with dummies?
Gummies.
Bunnies?
Mummies.
There you go. Honeys.
There you go. Money.
Honeys.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Well, on that note, I think we'll wrap up here. Thank you so much, everybody. And again, we'll see you next week.
Right.
Thanks, Gregory. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Good week.
Nice seeing everybody.
Good seeing you too. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.